Hold the applause. I don't even know if we're live yet. I don't know if we're live and direct. We're back on Chart Fanatics Live. It's been a while. I've been away, traveling Asia, finding the best traders in the world to bring to you. Both Words of Wisdom and Chart Fanatics, but we're here with Chart Fanatics Live. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world, I guess. But I guess this is like a warm-up, almost a warm-up for what we're bringing to you tomorrow on Words of Wisdom, the first of its kind, something I've been super excited for because it's never been done before. A 6-person roundtable, which means 7 people in total around the table. And on that roundtable, we have some of the greatest, if not the greatest, prop firm traders in the world. Talking which today, we have a phenomenal guest joining me here on Chart Fanatics Live. You already know who it is because we didn't keep it a secret, which maybe we should have. But it's the one and only TraderYush. Yush, thank you for being here. I don't know if everyone can see you yet, but you're here. And it's great to have you. Yush is actually going to teach me to become an order flow trader today, but we're going to look at the markets, see what opportunities present itself. And yeah, well, Yush, it's great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Let's do it. And I hear you trade ICT concepts. We gotta convert you over.
ICT hates me. You know, ICT blocked me on Twitter. You know that?
Actually?
Yeah, I've been blocked for a long time.
It's because you didn't invite him on the pod. That's what it is.
It's because I asked him for a track record and he said no. He said he doesn't have one. So I was like, okay. No, we're starting off with some drama, huh? No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good to see you all chat. Chart Academy launch, good question. That is coming in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out. It's going to change the absolute game. And you know, thanks to all the guys involved, and no doubt we'll see hopefully Yush on there as well soon. But we're here right now, Chart Fanatics Live. We're going to live stream and we're going to check the markets. Do you see anything at the moment? Anything come to mind, Yush? I know obviously we haven't started yet, but anything on your radar?
Yeah, I don't know if they can see my chart, but I do have a trade idea if you come back down into that area. So this area right here on NQ specifically, 780s, 760 area, this was a point of resistance yesterday. There was a lot of buying coming in there, trapped multiple times. As you can see here, this is a 15-minute chart, yesterday's New York price action here. Look at the number of times we rejected here. So we have, obviously, we tried to break under. We had a move back to new high of day, New York highs, rejected once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, where we had this huge dump. I think 200-point move down within like 5 minutes. And if you look at what we've done overnight, we opened back under, and overnight we reclaimed it. Strong impulsive move. We have low volume nodes here, which means there was aggression from the buyers to get over that level. And if you look at what we've done, we look below under the current value that we've developed overnight, and buyers defended, and we're making higher lows. So I want to see if we can kind of sweep below some of these lows, retest it, and see how we act. Potentially, my bias is saying long based on how we've traded overnight, how we reclaimed, how we're holding. But if I'm going to think short, I want to see us break below, retest, or try to get above 780, reject, or like a retest short. But NQ, one of the things it loves to do is trap, as I was telling you earlier. The liquidity is not as, it's very thin compared to ES. You only see like maybe max like 5 loss traded at every tick. So it loves to create, that's how we get those crazy wicks on the NQ, because it loves to trap it. It sweeps areas, highs and lows frequently. So First bias is long. If you come back, sweep below. If you see sellers, aggressive sellers get trapped inside of that area or below and reclaim 780, I'm going to look to take it long.
I love that. What would you say, you know, whilst we wait for the markets to really sort of open and pick up, you know, well, one for the chat, throw in the chat there. Oh, well, someone said we're going to get GTA 6 before Chart Academy. That's not happening. All right. We're doing it in collaboration with Grand Theft Auto 6. We're all waiting for both to launch. We're going to launch Chart Academy within GTA 6. That is the play right there. But no, it's coming soon, I promise. Bella, it's great to see you. As always, thank you for tuning in. I know it's late over there, or getting later over there. But anyway, chat, let us know the trading system that you trade. We want to see and hear whether you're trading support, resistance, ICT, the enemy, stay away. What is that you trade? Supply and demand. Let us know so we can, see if there's any talking points on that side of things. But yes, what was it for you in terms of using order flow? How's that helped you in your day-to-day trading? Like, what has that actually done for you?
It's more so for Riz. For me, it's been really seeing what's happening behind the candle and really getting really good execution. So right now, since I've been trading order flow for the past few years, I've noticed like once I enter the trade, because I'm also a scalper, it usually starts working right away. That's how I know it's going to be a winner. If the trade's not working right away, that's when, from my stats, it's like, okay, maybe my entry wasn't good enough. I'm more likely to lose in that scenario. But from everything I've posted on X, like the Instagram Reels, you can see like right when I enter, I try to get in when the impulsive leg is about to start, like the direction I'm entering. And that's what the edge order flow gives you. It tells you what's happening behind the candle. Obviously, price action, it's like, oh, people say that's like the most real time you can get. But I think order flow, seeing what's happening before the candle even prints, like whatever you're using, like 2 minute, 1 minute, right? A lot of people use the candle closures. I don't wait for the candle closures. I'm looking at the actual numbers, orders coming in real time. So like yesterday, as I mentioned, the 780, 760, there was lots of transactions happening at that area, like 200-300 lots on NQ, which is a good amount, and just continuously happening at that area every time it would get retested. So, and using that with combination of market structure on the candles, so I used the 3 minutes on ES and NQ 2 minute, and looking at higher lows, lower high, combining that with the actual, like where the orders are coming in, you find a point of interest where you want to get in versus just like looking at a chart candlestick. You're like, okay, all right, I hate to call on ICT, but it's like, oh, I have a fair value gap on every time frame I go, right? It could be you pull up any time frame, you'll see a fair value gap print. But what makes one fair value gap more valid than the other? And I think I want to point it out today. If you see it, if you combine, like, let's just say a fair value gap formation with a low volume node, I think you can get a high probability trade entry. So we're going to see if they print today. If you get a low volume, we're going to use the 2-3 minute. And if you get a low volume node with the fair value gap, I'll point it out. Be like, you can use this as an entry criteria, build your system around it. I know a few of the people I talked to that trade ICT that have done it. Obviously, I troll him because, a lot of ICT traders say, oh, fair value gap, and then it inverse is the inverse fair value gap. What's the difference? Tell me the difference. If it doesn't work, it's the inverse.
Hey, man. Don't go after the IFVGs. IFVGs? Is that the one? Yeah.
I think it's... Hey, I hope ICT watches this. Hey, man, maybe ICT watches this. He's like, oh, Riz is on. I've blocked him. Let's see what he's talking about. He's yapping about me.
I know, literally. What are people using? Let's see. So people are using. Well, one question people are asking: what platform do you use? Is that TradingView you got up there, or?
This is a MotiveWave. It is I use MotiveWave because it has some of the indicators. So I'm sure we're gonna get this question. So let's just answer it before the market opens. So the indicators you'll see on my chart. So one, you'll see a volume profile. So right now I have this volume profile anchored to overnight when 6 p.m. EST. But I'll draw a new profile from 9:30 open because that is the session I trade. I want to see how the volume is developing from New York, because that's when most of the volume for the products that I trade, ES and NQ, is traded. But I drew this profile so you can get a visual of what I'm looking at while I'm watching this area, because you have low volume nodes. It was a point of resistance yesterday. I think some news just came out. Yeah, so one tool I use is volume profile, looking at where we're developing value, where there's low volume nodes, using anchored to New York Open. The other indicator I use is big trades. So big trades points out where there's big transactions. So the filters I use for that are 75 lots on NQ and 200 on ES. And then I have this indicator, high open, low close, which marks overnight highs, previous day high, previous day low, previous day close, and the current high, low, and midpoint. And I have the delta profile. So what delta profile does, it gives me a summary of at the particular price level, If there's positive delta, meaning there's there's more orders on the ask, and if there's negative delta, that means there's more orders at that particular price at the bid. And what you can see with that is absorption. If there's a lot of negative delta coming in here, let's just say this is a small example here for pre-market. There's a lot of negative delta here, right? 125, but if price is holding that, it's sign of absorption happening. Obviously, you want to use this when it gets to a point of key levels, which is the zones I mark, and you'll see me mark throughout the session that when we stream today. And same with the positive delta. If you see a push above here, there's a lot of positive delta, but it's just price just stuck, right? Because there's a passive seller sitting there, soaking up all those orders and preventing price from going up. So that's how I use delta profile. And I think I covered, yeah, those are all the tools you'll see on the chart today.
Amazing. So again, someone asked what it's not trading view, it's motive wave, yeah. Interesting. But yeah, man, like it's so interesting in terms of so like we have a mixture in the chat here from market structure, decent amount of volume profile, order flow. I use NNFX. I don't know what that is. NNFX. Have you heard of that? I don't know. No, I don't know what that is. What time frames do you mainly focus on?
Yeah, good question. So coming into the day, I look at the larger time frames. Like I'll look at the 4 hour, 1 hour to see where we're trading. And that's how I got the level that I mentioned on NQ, looking at how we're reacting using like the volume profile as well. And then intraday, I'm looking at the 2 minute, and then I'll look at the 30 minute. It's like my higher time frame because I'm a scalper, right? My average hold time is like, right now it's much lower with the volatility, but usually it's like 3 to 5 minutes. I'm in a trade. So I'm in and out relatively quickly.
Okay. Yeah, no, because I've seen that. I've seen you tweet where you say it's basically like almost the first like 10-15 minutes of the session and you're done, or at least like smashed out a trade in that time. Do you never trade before the open?
So no, I do not. It just every time I've done it, it's just not worked for me, man. I mean, that was a mistake that I wouldn't say mistake. It was a lesson. I would want to call it a lesson. So I used to trade Globex when I was with props and stuff, and it's just not worth it. Save the mental capital for the next day, get some sleep. And I know, I mean, I remember we had a hot take on the pod. I was like, yeah, if you're trading Asia, you don't have a profitable strategy. Someone's like, yo, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But just try putting real capital in Asia. Like, so the props give you crazy leverage. Like, try putting on like 10 cons in Asia. See what happens. You can't do it. It's a lot of people trade Asia. They're putting on size in the sim environment. You can't do that in the real markets. You want to be in when there's volume. That's where you're going to make the most money.
It's interesting you mentioned that, actually, because, as we talked about when we started, you've absolutely crushed prop firms, done over $2 million, maybe closing in on $3 million almost in payouts. And, the start of this year, between January, I'd say up until March, even now, because I saw you just post a decent payout that you just got as well. But from like January to March, you did close to $300,000 in payouts, if I'm not mistaken. With a spend, very relatively small spend off the back of that. I think it was like $12,000 or $15,000, if that. Yeah. Which shows obviously incredible edge, because a lot of people who may have large payouts also have even if it's not hundreds of thousands in challenges spent, it might be 50 or 60 or 70, something that's quite far out of reach for a lot of people to be able to spend, right? While, as we said, you've got this huge payout amount, but with quite a relatively low spend. What I'm getting at is that you've smashed the prop firm scene, right? But now, you've really been focused on trading personal capital, obviously moved live with most of these firms as well. Even the most recent payout you mentioned that you're moving to live. Why is it important to be able to trade live and want to have a strategy that can perform in live environments as well, even if you're trading props? Was there any difference? I guess a third question, is there any difference with how you were trading props getting these payouts to now what you're trading live or?
Yeah, so one thing where I've been speaking a lot about just trading live on all of my social media platforms I'm on, because that is the way the whole prop industry is going. They're going to start pushing traders live quicker, because the whole goal with props for me, my strategy works in live and props. Before props, I was trading live, right? The whole goal with props was maximize on the ROI factor. Like everything else with props, you get taxed more. There's no real benefit with props other than maximizing on your investment, right? You can get a $50 account, you can get up to 5K payouts. Obviously, not easy to do, no matter what anyone says, right? But now that ROI has really strength because you're going to get moved to live. And if you don't know how to trade live, because I've been getting moved to live, maybe it's just me, I've seen others, it's happened to others where I get one payout from sim and then I'm automatically going to live, right? And it's happened to others that I know as well. And that's just the way industry is going, right? They're going to give you the same parameters, the same amount of accounts that you have in sim funded, and you just have to scale it slowly, and the potential is there. And that's one of my goals this year, right? I'm trading personal, but I'm slowly building these live accounts in the background, because once you have a lot of people are just addicted to sim trading, in my opinion, because they're so used to the sim environment. And now that the firms are pushing traders live, they're just like, what the hell? Like, yo, like, I don't like this. They're just fighting it, right? But you can't really fight where the industry is going. And I've been saying it since the start of the year. This is what's going to happen. Like, you can't really run up sim as you could in the years past. And if as a trader, if you're thinking it long term as a trader, you want to go live, right? Because sim, if you think about it, the firm doesn't make money on you. They're paying out of pockets, right? In live, if you want to trade live at a prop, right? There's two things. One, you're making real money. You can build a track record that, oh, look, I'm trading someone else's money, like a prop firm's money. And if you build a track record of multiple years, like not blowing the account, you can go to a brick and mortar prop shop. You're like, hey, look, I have a track record of trading someone else's money where I made this much. And second, it gives you the confidence that, look, I held this account, I have longevity in this account. Now I can fund my own account. Because another issue that I see is, okay, let's just say you make payouts, right? Like sim payouts in with whatever prop. But the bad habits that the prop teaches you to over leverage, because you have limited amount of drawdown, and it gives you like, okay, so for example, on 50K, you get 2K drawdown and they give you 5 e-mini contracts. So you're over leveraging if you're sizing that, right? But the prop is like dangling that. It's like, hey, you have this here. You shouldn't do it, but it's like a system, right? It's like, it's there it's like, okay, are you going to over leverage? It's testing you. A lot of people fall for that trap, and then those habits carry over if you trade live capital. So it's kind of like you got to rewire your brain once you go from trading prop into your personal, because again, there's more at risk. You have more at risk when you're trading your personal money.
No, it's true. It's true. I think it's an interesting one because, it's an amazing place to be in. Trading props, it's an amazing opportunity. As you say, leverage, the ROI is great, especially, it's not even just for new beginners, traders. I imagine maybe more experienced or even existing profitable traders will love it as well, depending on how they can handle those parameters, and having those sort of limitations on them. But it's definitely good for, up and coming traders to limit the risk as long as they understand what it is. And I think that's very important, is understanding the opportunity that it actually presents you. But understanding as well what the model is, and then being able to understand that you will, at the end of the day, if your goal is to be a trader, and I think that's a big difference, is a lot of people maybe don't have that vision or goal or that long-term perspective of trading. A lot of the time it comes down to the money, which, hey, don't get me wrong, everyone trades for money. They want to make money from trading. They want to be able to have that lifestyle and that freedom, which can provide, but equally to trade consistently and profitably, you always have to have your edge, which isn't just within the markets and isn't just being profitable. It's also how you operate outside of trading, which, to have that edge, requires that discipline, requires that very stringent process, especially when we're talking about moving live, right? And becoming a live capital trader, whether it's personal, managing other people's funds, or even in, a live prop firm account. you need to have that edge. And even just as a prop firm trader, you need to have that edge. I've never come across someone who got lucky and managed to do significant payouts. I've heard of lucky, one time maybe big payouts, but even these guys who have done the big apex runs, to do those big apex runs and get the $1 million payout, $2 million payout, whatever, even 500K payout with apex, for example, you can't gamble your way there. People might class it as gambling in the sense of like they might take some bigger risks to do it, which is natural in order to get higher returns. However, to be able to do that for, I think it was like it used to be 60 days, maybe 90 days, if I'm not mistaken, to be able to do those runs, to get to consistently try and perform over that time and get lucky is near impossible. You have to be following an edge. You have to be following a process. And to follow that process, you ask any one of them, which we have done actually, if you look at those old pods, but more importantly, check the roundtable tomorrow, is you ask any of them, you'll hear from them yourself. What was it actually like to try and do those runs? And you'll see the fatigue they went through, the hardship they went through of being on point day after day, handling obviously these huge P&L swings as well. But you can't get lucky for that period of time, right? And in general, back to Yush's point, even as a prop firm trader, you got to focus. You got to focus on being a good trader, not a prop firm trader, a good trader, because then you'll be a good prop firm trader and live capital trader and just trader in general. Trader in general. Let me just check the chat here. Whilst I do so, I know some people probably want to see some other charts as well. So just before the market actually opens, I'll blast through some charts because I know obviously you ain't looking at the CFDs, man. You ain't looking at the Wild West over there. This is actually a futures chart, first ever futures chart I ever put up. As you can see, I was just talking to Yush before we started. If I was to just look at this very, within seconds of me looking at it, what would I do? I put on this volume profile, by the way, because you just asked me to. I don't think I've even done it right, maybe, who knows. But putting that to a side, for me, we got these equal highs. Yesterday's high, which is an all-time high as well, in place on this chart. I don't know if I have the right chart on, so apologies if not. But yes, I would actually look at market open. As of right now, we've kind of seen that, what I would class as an inducement, like bringing in sellers right now with the movement we've had down, even this spike up we've just seen now on this 15-minute candle. Again, would kind of be bringing in both, I guess, buyers, but also those sellers with the way it looks right now. But I would expect price to look to sweep that and then have some form of sell-off. If not, we could push down first and then look to have that long take place. If I'm not mistaken, we have our low volume node down here towards those lows, which you can see if you look to the left, you have that previous, we've seen price sort of transact and using that sort of auction mindset. You can see there was a clear auction at this price level here previously, especially yesterday in particular. But anyway, very quickly, let's go over our other charts. So we have euro here. Here are those trades that I painfully held. I say painfully, I had like 25K running and then went back to break even on those. But price did shoot up to the upside thereafter. We swept liquidity to the left, as you can see. And it was an amazing short on Friday there that was possible. And then even into this week, going into late Monday into early Tuesday, we had a great short opportunity there. Currently, we're sitting at the lows. I do think we take out these lows, to be honest with you. I can see further downside available on this. But really, we've seen a bit of choppy price action since late yesterday on that. What are the pairs? Someone said gold. Everyone loves gold. Where are we on gold at the moment? Obviously, we had that all-time high price, really big sell-off. Sort of tried to bounce back up, sold off aggressively once again. This is the 50 EMA, especially for swing trading and just in general. I like having the EMAs on the charts for myself, not necessarily to trade off of. It's more so, especially for the swing trading side of things, as I said, more so of a sort of a directional bias where price could look to stall or have even just a short-term reaction from. But as of right now, the weekly candle, we were above all the EMAs on the chart when it comes to the closure. Nothing too significant I can see here. We have these sort of lows built up here on gold. Again, this is a CFD chart, so you can't use like a volume profile or anything. It wouldn't be reliable, wouldn't even work on TradingView here. What are we saying here? We got Riz analyzing NQ before GTA 6. Yes, we did. I wonder if that was on Polymarket or not. But yeah, anything significant here? Not really. We closed below. Swept liquidity from the highs, swept these highs, sort of had a significant sell-off. It wouldn't surprise me if we quite sweep some lows first. That's normally what I would look for. So in this case, or in this scenario, as you can see here, swept highs. What we swept low-wise, significant-wise, nothing as of yet. So my first sort of anchor, if you will, or looking for price to sweep would be down here, and then look to see what price does from there. Euro GBP, that's a pair that I used to trade back in the day. Haven't looked at it in a long time, and you'll see why, because it doesn't move. If you're a swing trader, which I am now, that is just, look at that. That's months. That's since 2016. We are in a range. 10 years. That's a 10-year range. You know, if you're a scalper, you might like that. I don't know. GU, I don't really like. Personally, I don't really trade it. But even this, since May 2025, same price action range, just within this range. Yeah, I would not like trading that. I know people do. But yeah, I don't see anything personally. Yeah, I don't see anything personally there. What else do people trade? I don't know. There was gold there, silver over here. Silver's probably in a very similar position, I imagine. Yeah, it is. As I said, weekly candle wise, with the EMAs, if we're looking long term, they've all closed above the 10, the 21, and the 50, and the 200. They're above all of those on those time frames. There isn't really significant momentum. When we talk from a fundamental perspective, obviously we had the ceasefire, which then ceased to have a ceasefire, if that makes sense. So we're going to expect some market volatility, no doubt. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Trump's done a classic Trump and has extended the peace talks that are, I don't think, even ongoing at the moment, because Iran aren't even in Pakistan to speak with them. So we shall see. We shall see. Let us see. But I personally, back to Yush's point in our conversation, I've been trading props last year, did 140k in payouts, which was great, just part-time swing trading. But I'm probably going to open, or I am going to open shortly, a live account and just swing trade on that, because swing trading on prop accounts is quite difficult, even on the CFD side. It's becoming more difficult. Like, the swaps on the prop firm that I trade on are absolutely insane. Like, they're just crazy. You know, so even holding overnight, mainly buys, obviously sells is no problem. But if I was looking to buy, if I was to hold over tonight, like if I was to hold a trade tonight, overnight, the swaps would be, you know, sometimes very easily a 0.5% risk, you know, equate to just on one night overholding. If I then held, I remember I held for 6 weeks on a trade, and the lot size wasn't even that big, but the swaps ended up being close to 2% almost of the trade profit, which is insane considering most of the time I'm risking 0.5%. So it's almost 4 amounts of risk on swaps being taken away, which I know on a live account wouldn't be the case. Insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah.
People are loving the analysis. You know, because of the roundtable, I'm telling you, tomorrow it drops, right, Riz? It got him so inspired. He's like, yo, I got to get these numbers up. Like, these 140 is great, but I got to get to that 500K. Riz said it to me privately, okay? He's like, I got to start streaming more, trading more. F all this traveling. I got to make money trading.
That's it, man. Well, the interesting thing is, like, you know, obviously I took a break from trading to build the podcast and just focus on that because I enjoy it. But nothing beats, you know, a couple things. One, nothing beats the way you can make money from trading. That's for sure. Like, it's not about the level of work, because at the end of the day, to be a profitable trader takes a lot of, as we talked about, discipline and sharpness and dedication. And I'm going to hand over to you because the market's going to open shortly. But the other thing as well is just like that feeling you get when you do the analysis, the breakdown, you execute, you manage, and you pull off a good trade, and you follow it flawlessly, your plan and the stuff. It's just amazing. You can't beat it. But yeah, like, you know, sitting down with guys like yourself and the roundtable, and just generally speaking to incredible traders, it keeps you inspired to try and test yourself as a trader. That's for sure. You know, because nothing, as I said, nothing comes close. Nothing comes close. But I have to control myself because obviously, if I was to come off the back of that roundtable inspired, I would buy like 100 accounts across all futures firms and just try and run it up. So I have to, keep a balance and keep control. Here we go there. So market's opening. What's going through your mind when market opens, Yush?
So I'm not really interested in this area because we're just opening inside of yesterday's range, right? Like RTH range, like New York range. When I say RTH, that's what I mean. As you mentioned, I do want to see if we can sweep overnight highs, which is also above yesterday's highs. You're saying like a sweep and look like get below. So the level that I really want to watch is like we're just 100 points above. That's the plan. So whenever, I guess we're just trading, I guess above or like below the level. I'm just waiting to see intraday price action and order flow develop. So I'm usually sitting out the first 5-10 minutes if it's not coming to the area of interest that I plan for pre-market.
What were you like before? Have you ever been in that position where you would really feel that euphoria and that excitement with the volatility kicking in of market open and look to try and chase sort of emotion?
100%. It's like the market. Here's what I do like a test. Like I'm always like in tune with my emotions. Like I'm thinking to myself, it's like, and this is what I ask myself, and it's like, how long can I just sit still without pressing the buy button? And if I'm pressing the buy button, am I pressing it because I see something like it's part of my strategy, or am I just doing it because I just want to be in a trade? And that is an important skill. Like, can you come to the desk, look at a chart either on your desktop, your phone, and just not press the buy or sell? How long can you wait? Are you doing it within like 5 minutes of you coming to the desk, or you're looking at a chart, pulling up a chart? If you are, I hate to tell you, you might have a gambling problem. But
so how did you change that though? For you personally, like what things did you do to kind of take yourself away from, being quite reactive in the moment, and as you say, sort of have that more gambling feel to being able to be calm and follow your system?
Well, I got tired of losing, Riz. Like I was just like, yo, this isn't getting me anywhere. It's like, yo, I'm just gonna freaking keep losing if I keep doing the same thing. I'm not. As I think we said in the pod too, I was going in circles for like 2 years. Like I would make a lot of money, give it back, make it back, lose it back, but I was losing the money faster than I was making it. Like it was like a trend, right? Uptrend, it goes up slowly, and then one day you see a big like candle down, for example, like you saw on gold in January, right? So similar to that, and I was like, what? I'm doing something wrong here. So I looked at I started paying attention closely to my trading, like really thinking about, okay, why am I doing it? And I said it in the Prop Firm pod. I started taking notes, like my thoughts on like Notion. And it's like, what am I thinking? And there'll be times where I have a bias, I'm thinking long, but I was short for some reason because the long wasn't setting up. It wasn't coming back to my area. I wasn't patient enough. I just wanted to be in a trade and make money. The part was like, I just wanted to make money every single day. And that's just not how trading is. There will be days where you don't make anything. Like I told you, right? We were going to record the live for last Wednesday. I sat on my desk for 2 hours, did not take a trade because it was just grinding up. I couldn't find a good risk reward entry. I was like, okay, I'm not trading today. I told you, like, it's not happening. The live set recording's not happening today. But that's trading. Some days you'll find a lot of good opportunities, good entry points based on whatever strategy you trade. Some days it will just be a struggle. But that's the part of trading I really like. It's like a new puzzle every day that you're tackling. And to me now, like win or loss doesn't really matter, right? Because even if I lose, I do this, and I guess I'll do it today. I forgot to do it today because we're talking here. But every day before I start the session, I have like before I start even trading, start looking at charts. I'm like, okay, this is the max I'm gonna risk today. So today, what we're streaming today, I'm gonna risk max 3K. If I lose 3K, we're done. I'm never coming back on the stream because Riz is like, this guy sucks. But that's my max risk. And if I lose the 3K, guess what? I'll survive. It's like that's the max damage that I'm gonna do in the account that I trade today. And that's what I do every single day. Before I come in, I accept the risk that I'm gonna have, like the max amount you can lose, because that's the only thing you can control in trading. You can't control how much you're gonna make because you don't know the opportunities that are gonna show up. There's uncertainty with everything with the markets. You don't have the size to control the direction. No one does. No one person has the size. But what you can control, and I think the only thing you can control, is how much are you going to lose of your capital, or your, like the fee that you paid for the profit account.
Yeah. I think it's like you say, understanding that random distribution, right? That's what trading is always going to be about. And I think it can be so hard unless you really start to understand it. And I do think there's an element as well where, if you are relying on the money from trading only, really, to try and elevate and sort of build up and scale your life and so on, that's where that sort of, it's so much harder to take that step back and not take a trade and be okay with not taking a trade on a day, or especially if you've had a losing streak or a big losing day, to be able to just say, okay, I need to reset. I think that's where a lot of those impulses and that aggression to need to trade comes from, because I'm in a position, thankfully, where I don't need to make the money from trading, right? And I think you are as well. And when I've spoken to the people who are in that position, that isn't the only reason why they are calmer when they trade. Because at the end of the day, those impulses still do try and creep in, but it helps a tremendous amount, right? Which is why I always tell people to, even like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, go get a job that pays you, crazy a salary. Because if it was that easy, obviously anyone would do it. But it's that short-term sacrifice of saving and just putting yourself in a slightly better position first, whilst you develop your skills as a trader. Because a lot of people, even if they're trading, they're not really trading with an edge. They're just trying to trade for the sake of trading. Their edge is very much just things they think work, but they haven't collected data. So like in that process, and this is exactly what I did in order to really go from losing consistently to being profitable, was literally taking the time to build 3 simple steps. 1, taking the time to build your cash cushion and getting out of debt and being in a good financial situation. Not massively, but just to the point where I don't have to make money from trading in order to have savings and to be able to pay the bills, etc. 2, in that time though, demo trading still, for refining my edge, collecting data. So by the 3rd step, where you're in the position, you have the finances, and 2, you have now developed your edge, now you can trade. Now you can go tackle the prop firm account, knowing and having confidence that, hey, I should pass this. Doesn't mean you will pass it, but the likelihood is way higher than before, because now you have the funds to actually buy this account without needing to pass it. And 2, you actually have the edge and the skill set because you took the time to develop it during that period. That period for some might be 3 months. For me, it was 6. Mine was 6. For some, it might be a year. But then you have to lean back to your goal, right? Is your goal to be a trader for, 10 years? If it's to be 10 years, we could say longer, because I know, you've seen on the podcast, this trader's been trading for 20, 30, 40, 50. I did one on this Asia trip with a guy who's been trading for 60 years. Depends on your goal, right? Let's just say 10 to keep it nice and short, if anything. What is 6 months of not even sacrifice, but it's just time to develop your skill? What is a year of dedicated time to develop your skill, knowing that the next 9 years you will compound that growth and probably be, making 7 figures, hopefully even get to the 8-figure mark. But even 7 figures, that's more than enough, right? To be able to take that money and do stuff with. So it depends on your mindset, There was a good question here, actually. If I just scroll back slightly here. Here's a good one. I thought it was really, really good. How much screen time did it take before order flow started to make sense to you, Yush? I think that's a really great question.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, it took I think 4 months, I would say. But when I started with order flow, now there's so many resources, I feel like, on order flow and different order flow tools that simplify it. With it, combine order flow with the candlestick chart, a lot of what you're seeing here, right? I have big trades, I have delta profile. You can get a good summary of what's going on with the candlestick together in one chart. So you don't have to use the old school formats like a DOM, for example. I have it up. You might see it on my screen here, but you don't have to use that now. There's tools like heat map that will tell you where the liquidity is sitting. That's another tool, right? But when I started, I learned like the basic concepts. I would watch these videos, but then when I would go apply it, be like, what am I looking at? It was just a lot of numbers moving really fast. And obviously it took me kind of taking the basic concepts of what absorption looks like from the YouTube videos, the way you see online, where you see aggression from one side, and just watching it, the same instruments. Like I've been trading ESNQ since I started futures. Those are the only two products that I've traded since I started from when I shifted from options to futures in 2022. But yeah, just screen time, right? So just finding patterns and just like obviously I use Notion, so I would just take note of it, be like, oh, this is what I saw, and then I would do midweek review and end of week review, be like, how did I do? Okay, what are the patterns? Put them in like a section. Okay, this is absorption. This is what I saw a great sign of buying here. I want to look for this in the future, and I've kind of refined it. So I used all those tools, by the way. Bookmap I cut it out because it was a lot of noise to me. I would see a lot of like the bubbles and be like, oh, this is important, when it wasn't. I would get too zoomed in. Same thing with footprints. I used it. And then I found this system that you see on the chart with the volume profile, big trades, and the delta profile to be the most successful for me, because it gives me a summary of what's going on, and it gives me the view of the market structure using the candlestick timeframes that I have and the volume profile. But yeah, coming back to it, it took me about 4 months of just looking at it. And listen, I've told Riz this, right? I'm not a person that just made a lot of money just one freaking year. I was that guy trading one Apex account. I wasn't buying 5. I wasn't maxing out like the most accounts you can get at a firm. And I was trading probably the worst account at the time, 100K static. It had a $700 drawdown, but it was static. It wasn't trailing. Obviously, you can't get that account anymore, but that's how I was learning order flow, how I'm trading. Obviously, lost a lot, didn't make money in the beginning, and then I slowly scaled it. Every year, I started making money. And yeah, this year, it's been going well.
That's it, man. It's going very well, very well. But that's what I was getting at, is like when you take that time to lock in and sort of do a short-term sacrifice for the longer-term gains, that's how it compounds to a point where, like this year, as we mentioned, you've done over 300K in payouts, probably closing in on 400K, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, and then we're only 4 months in. We're not even fully 4 months into the year yet. And being able to do that is the result of consistent hard work, especially if you, as you said, you lost for 2 years before you got to this point. And even then, getting to this point wasn't just like 2 years of losing and now this. It was 2 years of losing, and then as it says on your X account, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 2024 was a certain amount of payouts, right? Then 2025 was scaled up more, right? And then this year's looking like it'll probably be, as long as the market conditions and everything, probably be more. Might not be payouts, probably be a combination of payouts and live account based on the, being moved to live, etc. But that compounding effect taking place, right? Everyone in the chat right now, drop a like, of course, help us push the stream and get more people in here, because the markets are moving and in the direction that Yush is looking at as well. And just generally, it helps us obviously reach more and more people. In terms of funded accounts and TradeZella giveaways, they are coming. Don't you worry. We've got plenty Apex accounts, even Alpha Capital accounts for CFDs, even TradeZella subs, And because I'm here, it means we can do more than normal, right? And especially because Josh is here as well, obviously.
Yeah. I want to actually answer this question. Someone said, stop yapping, the market's open. First and foremost, I have a plan, right? I'm waiting for the market to develop. This is what I mean. The market's open doesn't mean you freaking just, slap buy, sell, right? Create a plan, wait for the plan. I'm waiting for the level below, and I'm waiting for market structure to develop intraday from 9:30. There is little structure right now to trade off since open. So what do you want me to trade, bro? That's why we're yapping, all right? And we're going to keep yapping if there's no trade. So you can either watch or you can get out. Sorry, Riz. We're not going to have that shit here, bro. We're not going to have that. If you're looking for someone to just gamble, buy, and sell, this is not the stream for you.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry. I like it, though. I like that energy. We tell it to them straight, man. That's it. It'll be interesting. The market, like you said, the market's moving towards, right now anyway, towards the the area you mentioned, which will be interesting. So should we get there, feel free, if we're doing something else, to just cut me off. But he's completely right, though. At the end of the day, yes, we would love to be just the most exciting live stream ever, where we just trade and trade and trade and probably lose because we have no plan and we're just placing trades, right? Or would we rather, as we say, be an actual live stream where live trading actually takes place, the reality of trading is actually shown, and you actually learn something, and that can help you as a trader, at the end of the day. But for sure, in terms of, someone asked me in terms of my strategy, so I'll just if Anthony, you push it over to my chart for a second, I'll do a very brief breakdown of my strategy, which you can find in the Discord on Chart Fanatics. There's a whole full video on my strategy completely for free on there. The Discord's free, everything we do is free, so check it out. But basically, market structure, right? So market structure, as we know, very easy: high highs, higher lows, lower lows, lower highs. So once you identify that, then we will look for our overall higher time frame trend. And with that, what I use actually is, essentially it's a Fibonacci, but I really just use it to note where price more than likely is a discount or premium, meaning anything below that 50% mark for me would be considered a discount. So that this is considered a cheap price to buy something. The analogy I use is like a car, right? If I want to buy a car, I'm going to try and pay the cheapest price possible, right? If I want to sell a car, I want to sell it for the highest price possible. So the concept being that if I was selling, I want price to be ideally in a premium before I sell, right? And if we take that to trading, why would that be the case? Because large institutions, banks, and hedge funds, and the large participators are using larger orders, larger amounts of capital, and so to them it's going to be more important to get the cheaper prices or more premium prices when they're transacting, because it makes a huge difference. To us, obviously, it still makes a difference, but it's not as significant if we were just trading a 10 lot or 5 lot or wherever it may be, or contracts wise, micros, wherever, or minis, wherever it may be, right? But in comparison to obviously the big players, that little difference between maybe trading here and here is going to be quite more significant. So that's the bigger picture. So once you've identified that from a bigger picture standpoint, bigger picture depends on your time frame. The concepts I use are very universal. You could be using it from a weekly time frame all the way down to a 15-minute time frame. That is entirely up to you. So when I scalped, I used the same strategy, really. Lower time frame wise, after I've identified, let's say we're bullish, then all I'm looking for really are areas of interest. Areas of interest for me is mainly liquidity. So what I'll be looking at is, if say we're in a bullish trend, and let's say this is the lower time frame, I'll be looking to the left here for either where we've seen a really significant move, where we might see a fair value gap. I'm sorry, Yush. But the fair value gap itself isn't important to me. It's more so like, okay, there's an area. What I'm looking at, I don't use order flow as of yet, but what I do is I look at liquidity. So say to the left, if price had a buildup of lows here, which might be considered equal lows, right, or double bottom, I know there's going to be orders sat below that, right, or people who went long there. So I'll mark that out. And then it might align with a fair value gap. So I say, oh, that's interesting. The correlating confluences are lining up. Now, the main confluence I want to see actually at this area is price break structure on a lower time frame. So 1 minute or 5 minute, maybe even 15 minute, even better. The higher the time frame it goes, the better, because that's a higher amount of orders probably, and a higher amount of people being what I would class as induced, so brought into the market. So in this case, we have those equals to the left. Let's say we have the fair value gap. We have obviously the overall trend as well, bullish. And then now we have what I call the early buyers, right? So when we see these early buyers, I'm like, okay, great. Now I need to see these guys taken out, and now I'm interested in buying, right? So after the early buyers, we'll look for them to get swept out. And now I'm interested in what price does on a lower time frame. If it breaks structure, I would more than likely get in and then target, obviously, the higher time frame high, especially as a swing trader. So my stop loss normally will go below the scalping low, if you will, the lower time frame entry low. Or if I want to be a bit more cushion, and depending on the risk to reward, if it's viable, I might have it below the overall low to give it room, because I'm swing trading. A minimum trade I go for is 1 to 3. A lot of my trades, if they're swing trades, they'll go to about 1 to 10 plus. I try my best to hold a lot of volume, which is why you saw me hold those 25K trades. The 25K trades in profits that were floating, I was aiming to try and get 90K roughly in terms of overall profits. Looking back, my analysis was incorrect, or I should have just taken a bit more off the table, but I really don't care because that was my plan and I stuck to my plan and I didn't revenge trade after or anything, which is also part of my plan. So I did everything correctly in that side of things. So I'm happy. But yeah, that was a very as brief as possible. My strategy in a nutshell, use that exact strategy to do 140K in payouts last year. And let's see how we do. What is everyone saying here? Sorry, 1 second. When is Chart Academy going to come? It's coming in literally the next 4 weeks, maximum 4 weeks, probably less, maybe 3 weeks. But we're just building out a couple of things that we want to launch with. But again, guys, it's completely free, so you don't need to worry.
That's what GTA said, right? They're going to come out this year, and they canceled it. So
they lied. Yeah.
Push it.
We push it back even further. Yeah. Oh man, what are you looking for now on EU? On EU, to be honest with you, I'll just very briefly pull that up. Are we still on my chart? Yes, we are. So EU, if I go higher time frame quickly, overall, I was interested. The reason I was holding, if I just clear this up a bit, there we go. So the reason I was holding is there's a monthly fair value gap here, and this pair is very much, you can see, kind of been in a similar area since 2015. Whenever we do see an extended run, we see it mean revert. So like go back to the mean, go back to the average, which in this case aligns with that fair value gap. You can see it's a very consistent area of transactions of both buyers and sellers as well. So my confluences and my mindset were like aligned for that, right? The thing I missed actually in terms of that trade of what I should have noticed is the monthly ended up close. Yeah, yes, it broke below after sweeping significant lows. It ended up closing back in line with that EMA on a monthly time frame, which is more significant. And then also this monthly candle this month as well, like the way we've pushed quite aggressively back to the upside, and especially after sweeping this low, you're getting that close back above. Those were all kind of just very subtle but key things to take on board. But I still do like the short for the time being. Like last week's weekly close after taking the highs here to the left shows indecision, so nothing significant really. Though a lot of this movement, the sell-off originally and even the pop back up, is all based on this Iran and US sort of war in the region. So really a lot of it is going to be based off of that. I like a further move down just slightly. Would I love for price to come back to mean revert? Yes, I still like that. But as of right now, I don't have like a longer term bias just right now. I took a couple day trades actually. So I took some longs from here, closed out. Should have closed out more, could have had 10K profit, didn't close out enough really. Price came back, but this short was beautiful right here. Very clean, very easy. Why? Because we swept obviously this high. They're those early in this case early sellers. So look on this time frame, 4 hour time frame, right? Early sellers there, right? We broke structure on the 4 hour time frame. Everyone's probably looking to sell. We then sweep those sellers. Not only that, we're in the premium. We sweep the liquidity to the left. Then we get a very significant sell-off. The other element of my strategy, that I forgot to mention, is just the key numbers. So I do like on the every chart that I would look at, I like the 200, the 500, the 800. So in this case, we did those early sellers and we tapped into the 200 level. We actually were just shy of a 500 level as well, but 200 is more than enough. And yeah, so swept those early sellers in the premium, swept liquidity on one of the key levels as well. Great trade coming in, and that was a great sell-off on a Friday as well after running up for the week. So that's another confluence. Broke structure then going into Monday, Tuesday, we pull back into the 800 level and we sell off once again. So that was another great trade there, both of which would result to a +1 to 3. As of right now, again, as mentioned earlier, I do like further sell-off for now, especially here, just to this most recent low. It's not really, I don't think there's much of a risk to reward or like optimum trade area to take a trade from as of right now. So I'm just happy to wait, for an area to present itself. But yeah, that's my viewpoint right now. Could Yush talk us through what order flow is currently saying on NQ? For sure. Sure thing.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the DOM here. Yeah, we're just kind of in balanced PA inside of overnight value. There's not really, I'm not really seeing many big trades coming in. So there is sellers getting observed under 730, right under here. I can mark it, but nothing significant. There's no aggression from either side. That's why we're kind of just seeing it consolidate in a range. And up here. So this is our value. This pink line you're seeing, this is the value area high overnight. So every time we try to break above, it gets met with selling, goes to the other side of balance. But this range is really tight. So I want to see one side get more aggressive. If buyers get aggressive, watch for it to push into overnight highs at 900. Same with ES. ES is kind of just consolidating inside of a 10-point range. That's where we're sitting now. This is a tight range consolidation. Wait for it to pick a direction.
Do you know who would love trading this?
Who?
O'Carla would love it. Yeah, he would love it. 10-point range for him. He would love it. Yeah, it's interesting though. And you know what I love about that is, like, you know, as I just talked, I was a swing trader. Mr. Moda 1, by the way. If you've asked 4 or 5 questions and I haven't replied to you, I'm sorry. Throw the 4 or 5 questions right now, and then we'll answer them. Yeah, throw that in there. But that's what I love about trading, though, is because, like, for someone, this condition and what the market's doing right now is perfect, right? That's what they want. That's the A+ setup. For you, for example, that's like nothing, right? For me, even just looking at, even though I don't trade NQ, if I was though, that would also be nothing, right? I wouldn't want it. There's nothing for me there. But there'll be others looking at it like, why aren't you trading that? Why aren't you doing that? I don't think there'll be many people doing that, but you know, there are a lot of aggressive people might be. But yeah, like, even for me, I would like say, okay, I couldn't take a trade at all if it's me until the daily high of yesterday gets swept, right? Then I would look at, okay, does price react? If it doesn't even react, then I'm not bothered. Even for me, looking at this, I would take the same philosophy. As I mentioned, I would take my same, for now, without me learning anything else, I would take my same exact strategy. I would want to see early sellers hopefully present itself before we take yesterday's high. And if it did that, and then it swept the high, and then we saw some sort of lower time frame breaker structure, that would be a decent short to me. Why? Because now not only have we taken the high of yesterday, so a significant high, and then had early sellers, so then we have a buildup of this liquidity. Now we then break structure on a lower time frame after that as well. After all of that's taken place, that's great. And then we know we're in a premium because we're at all-time high if we take that high, right? So then, yes, I'm not saying, okay, I'm going to short this and then look to target maybe yesterday's low or further, because I think that would be unfair based on the fact that we are bullish. The overall structure is bullish. But I would then look at, okay, where's a significant target? If all of this is still in play, cool, that would be a significant target. Does that give me a risk to reward I'm happy with? These are the sort of knock-on effects, if you will, that I would need to see in order for me to go, okay, this trade's valid, right? But yeah, it's as you say, like, there's nothing significant happening as of right now, which is fine. I don't know if there's anything. It doesn't look like, to be fair to you, when I go across all these markets, there's nothing significantly happening across the board. And a large part of that might be what's driving markets right now. Obviously, this war with Iran and the US. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, there's one, they're waiting for obviously these peace talks or whatever's happening there. But as of right now, there's no certainty. There's no overall theme coming from that, right? So therefore, it's kind of expected that price isn't going to do too much because it's anticipating, just as we're anticipating for that volatility and that news and that certainty, the market's doing it as well. And that's kind of exactly what the market looks like when that's the case. It looks like this, you know. What's people say? Let's see. Mr. Moda, man, you didn't send your questions. What am I supposed to do? You know, I'll go back and find one. What is the best time frame for entering the trade? So with that question, I can answer that for you. It depends on your strategy. You know, it could be the 1 second chart. It could be the 100-month chart. It really depends on your strategy. What is it for you, though, Yush? What's your best for you personally? What is your time frame?
So I don't really trade. I don't take entries based on time frame. I just use like time frame charts for structure. So I don't know if I'm the right person to ask the time frame, like, but I will say, like, I like the structure because I'm a scalper on the 2 on the NQ and ES. So I want to let's pause here because you're coming up to the upper portion of range. You're seeing big trades pop in here. You're seeing some momentum. I want to see if it gains momentum to get over 900, or do we trap buyers here? Because this is one of the setups we talked about in our chart Fanatics, right? Could this be a look above and fail above value? Because now we have some structure to go off into 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. I should say. So we're seeing some sells come in, right? This was an order 100 lot at the bid. Do we trap that and we break higher, which is what we're doing? Or is this all this buying, does it get met with selling? And do we get under 870s? And then we can look to take this back into 845s and the other side of balance at 830. So let's see.
Okay. Yes, sir. Now we're locked in, see? So where's that guy saying, where's the trading? Come back now. We'll come back now. You might miss it. Oh, man. What is the price of this software, Motorwave? I don't know. Yush will know best than me.
So there's a free trial you can get for 14 days, and then I believe it's $50 a month after the free trial for the order flow package.
Use code Yush. I made that up.
Yeah.
Is there a code? I don't know.
Or here's what you could do. You could go to I don't know. We could talk about it. There's a certain firm that gives prop firm that gives free access to Motivate if you have a eval. I don't know for huh.
I don't know who that is.
We're allowed to say it, but
what does it rhyme with?
Huh?
What does it rhyme with?
It's dark themed. I don't know if that makes. I don't know if they're car. Think of car.
Car. Very interesting. Okay. Well, I think people can work it out themselves.
I think they'll figure it out. Yeah.
What were we saying here? Price of software. Let me get to thingy. Mr. Moda here. Top 3. Question 1. Top 3 things someone should do to get his first payout. Have an edge. Be profitable. And pass an eval. They're a bit too obvious. What would be What would be your top 3 things, Josh? There.
Sorry, Riz. I'm trying to focus up here. Hold up.
You focus
because it got a. So we're seeing some momentum, right? We came into this upper zone. We missed like this. ES swept its overnight high. We missed it by like I think 1 tick. So I'm watching here. What was the question? While we'll wait for this. Sorry, could you ask?
Don't worry. You wait. We'll focus on this. Don't worry about the question. I'll answer the question. You focus. I'll answer it seriously. Sorry, Mr. Moda. So top 3 things I would say first payout wise is most of all it's just edge, like making sure you have an actual profitable edge, because at the end of the day, even if you're trading futures or you're trading CFD prop firm accounts, there are certain rules that you need to follow, and you know those rules ahead of time in order to pass the challenge and then get funded. So you need to make sure you have an edge. So that could be journaling, that would be your actual setup, knowing what the overall profitability looks like, what does the average performance of that edge and strategy look like. You need to know that before you take a challenge. In terms of that as well, in terms of getting to your first payout, is understanding that exactly what you do to pass your challenge, as long as you're following your edge, is exactly the same thing you do to get your payout. A lot of people I've seen is they'll do the right thing on the challenge, and then as soon as they get funded, they get excited, they start taking more risk or start changing things, and that doesn't make sense, right? And the third thing is just making sure that when you go and take a challenge, you're doing so not having to make sure that you pass that challenge and you make a payout, meaning that you have other money. You don't need to do that. You could fail it and still be okay, because again, that's where your impulses and emotions come out. Second question, we answered the time frame entry one. Third question, how do you take the next trade after a big red day? So that will depend. So number one, if you're taking a big red day, that shouldn't happen overall, but obviously even with the best traders, even if you're following your edge, there could be a particular trade that might be A+ that you decided to take some elevated risk on, and that's fine. You might have done that, and it might be elevated, but it might not be like you're 50% of your account, because that should never be that elevated really. But you took a big red day. It really depends then. It depends on how you check in with yourself, right? Are you feeling emotional? Are you feeling that, so I don't know how you describe it, but that tilt energy, if you will? Are you feeling heightened? Because you probably shouldn't trade after that, right? After a big red day and you still feel that way. If you feel calm and you still feel collected and you're still feeling aware that, okay, I took a big loss, but I understand why, and I'm ready to trade and follow my system still, then those traders who are in that moment and to our point earlier built that consistency and sort of compounded their efforts and are in that point in their journey, that big red day will still be annoying, but it won't get to them. They'll just move on. They know that, okay, this is why it happened. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just literally just took a trade that had more risk and you lost, and therefore you move on. So it really depends on the actual situation, but the reality being that you just got to check in with yourself and wait till you're more centered and calmed, and then take it from there. I must see early sellers like ICT traders.
All right, Riz, I'm in, bro. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. So look above and fail. 20-point stop, 85s or 84 25s. We try to break out. We had some trap buying here. I want to see if he can look. So we're looking back inside of value. I want to see if he can get a move to 840s first. Quick move.
Love that. Right, so what did you see to get that? Or unless you need to manage, then feel free.
Yeah, hold up.
Here we go. Where's that guy now? What we got? Let's what can we give people? We got the applause.
Riz is gonna give away $5,000 for this trade hits.
Whatever the profit is. But no, there are giveaways. I know everyone's asking about giveaways. Listen, the giveaways are here, right? We have them, right? But we're in the middle of trading. What is it you want? You want trading or you want giveaways, right? I know you're going to say giveaways, but wait, okay? The giveaways are here. We got plenty of them. Don't worry. Participate, ask questions, see what is going on. See this incredible trader trading order flow live right now in front of you. What are you seeing, Yosh? What's going on? What's going through your head?
So we retested it. So far, buying coming in here, but I have these trap buying here to protect me. I got stopped there. All right, it's fine. So I tried the setup as we so it was a look above and fail setup that I usually take, right? Where we had this range that formed. Here, let me mark it. Hold up. So we had this range. Let me get rid of this. Move this for now, where we were just consolidating, right? Where we attempted to break out, we quickly came back, quick sell-off. So I was seeing I was thinking we could have potential trap buying here. So got in when we entered back inside of value, looking to target the other side of balance.
Gotcha. So like a failed breakout, basically.
Yeah, failed breakout.
Mm-hmm. So now that essentially failed, what goes through your mind now? Anything changes or you just wait?
Now we just wait. So let's see if they can sustain value higher and see how it develops. I would take the same setup over again if we come back under 870.
Got you. Okay. Got you. Okay. Whilst we wait for that, someone asked, how do you recover from bad days, Josh? What helps you forgive yourself and move forward? Is there a reminder you keep telling yourself?
Well, I always think long term, and I never have the expectation that I'm going to win every day. That's number one, and yeah, I look at the long term. Be like, red days are just part of trading because that's the uncertainty that you don't control. You don't control the outcome of what's going to happen once you put risk on, right? And what I generally do, and we talked about with a prop firm account, if I'm red, I don't generally trade that prop firm account for the next day. And I don't copy trade all my prop firm accounts on the same day or all together, I just say. So I'll trade one prop firm account, like one firm, I should say, at a time. And then if I'm red, I won't even touch that account for a day or two. I'll just trade the other ones because the other ones aren't in drawdown.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps with the confidence there.
Splitting it up is good as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What does someone say? Can I combine ICT and order flow? You can. That is completely possible. Even AB, who trades here on a weekly basis, every Tuesday and Wednesday, he does exactly that. He trades the bookmap order flow with ICT. So he does exactly that. Because again, the whole ICT thing is just funny. I think the reason why you see a lot of not a lot, but like some order flow guys say it, I say it as well, I make jokes of it, is simply because ICT's made it into, I won't say a joke, I don't want to be too mean, but he's made it into that, he's made it into like something you can banter about. He's made it into like a cult-like mentality. That is why. And the interesting thing is, the way I observe it is that ICT, the way he tries to depict it, is essentially what order flow is, right? ICT tries to say he coded an algorithm, you can predict price, like a book, and read it and so on. That's exactly what order flow is. Order flow tells you the orders, shows you where all the orders are, allows you to have more confidence. Now, does it mean you'll never lose a trade? No, that is BS. And that is the problem with ICT, really. That's the only big problem, or one of the big problems, is that when he loses a trade on stream, he just makes out like, oh, it's because they're watching my stream and they hunted my stop. And that's just a dangerous mentality to try and have and share to such a large audience that he has. I respect him for the large audience that he's built and the fact that he used to sell stuff, but now it's all free. I respect that. Yeah.
I was gonna say, but granted, it's a demo account. Those orders aren't real, and they said they're targeting him. It's a fake order? Why would they target his stop? I think it just said to get more eyes. It just to get more eyes on. Yeah, more.
Yeah, it works. It works. But I think order flow. The beauty of order flow is it can layer with any strategy, right? For the most part, ICT, SMC, supply demand, market structure, candlestick patterns. Like, that's the beauty of order flow, is that you can layer it, and by doing so, it will allow you to have a better win rate, more confidence, and a better understanding of why those things should work. So like that's why, when we've had both Yush here today, when we've had Fabio Valentini on, Andrea Chimi, when we've had obviously Carmine Risotto, with the low volume node, as we talked about, that's how you can actually identify valid fair value gaps. A lot of the time is that when they align with a low volume node, now you have a really strong area of interest versus just as you said, you could mark out a fair value gap anywhere, but what does it mean? Versus you do both, you layer them over.
I can answer that question. What was the question that the 3-part question that you asked earlier?
You said well, the top 3. Sorry, one sec. I don't know where it's gone now. I'm not sure. It's I can't see it now. Essentially, it was something like, what would be the top 3 tips to getting a payout, your first payout or something?
Right. I mean, obviously, have a trading strategy. Don't just go in just randomly press and buy or sell, right? So first, find a trading strategy that resonates with you and gives you confidence. And you don't have to put demo trader, right? Paper trade it without any prop firm account first to say, okay, I have confidence in strategy. That's number 1. And number 2 is you're not going to get payout on your first few attempts with props. You got to get used to the rules, like the model that the props have. And I'm just being honest. That's just based on probability of the prop firm model, like the futures prop firm model. So don't risk everything on don't risk all your money on your first few attempts. Get the smallest account, learn to trade on micros. So you wire your brain like that. So, because when you trade minis too quickly in your trading journeys, you get that euphoria feeling. And I got that, right? I was trading options. I was trading like Amazon options right when I got started. And it was like, Amazon was like a 4K stock. Those options were moving like $1,000 fluctuations. So that euphoria feeling is very dangerous early on in a trader's career or starting out as a trader, because you get addicted to big P&L swings and you're like, oh my God, you feel the rush. So to learn properly, I would say start with micros, build a system, risk management, and...
I didn't get that.
Oh shit.
Did you try again?
Siri said she didn't get it.
That's it. Hey, we retired now. What was I saying?
Yeah,
go on.
No, those are the 2 tips I would say. Find a strategy and don't risk everything on your first few attempts. Trade the smallest account and trade micros.
Definitely. Has AB retired? No, he's just traveling in South America right now, meeting incredible traders, and he'll be back next week, I believe. Someone said it already. Which market's better, futures or forex? I would say overall futures is probably better for the most part for most traders, just because it's centralized data. The only hardship really with futures is if you're going to try and swing trade, you would need a substantial amount of capital to be able to do so. You can't swing trade on props for the most part, as far as I know. Forex obviously is good for that, swing trading. However, you see a lot of choppiness in Forex, depending on the pairs that you trade. And it's decentralized is an issue, but both are good. It really depends on, again, on you and what you're looking for. For the most part, if you have the skill set, you can trade both. Like I've seen people transition from trading just CFDs to trading both, and they do really well. You know, they have to adapt slightly, no doubt, based on what they're trading. But overall, like the difference between lots and contracts, pips and ticks, like it's very similar. Like it's just learning platforms and certain things, like the contracts when it comes to futures, for example. But yeah, not too. Throw us an A+ signal. Let's full port. You know what? You said that 3 years ago. I would have fell for it. But
hey man, that's what I get to say when the stream. Like, all right, just full port your They said, Riz, they say full port your personal account. That's what they say.
They want you to take the heat. That's what it is.
Oh man,
how much did you risk on that trade? I know you said you were willing to. When you said earlier? I don't know if that was an example. You said you're willing to risk 3K today. How much did you risk on that trade?
800. So I'm down 800 right now.
Okay. So do you have was it 3K that you're risking today?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you got 2,200 left.
Well, that's good. I know, Riz. I know. I won't lose it. All right. I'm not going to be invited back. I get it. I get it
now. 2,200 right now. Open a chart. Sell or buy, or half and half. We'll do both at the same time. I don't know how that plays out, but people have the most interesting strategies. They must have the most interesting strategies. Man, Riz, I want you to invite Matt Finn as a guest. Never heard of him, Matt Finn. Interesting name. You'll have to send me a DM or something of his profile to check him out. But hey, anyone who has a track record of 2 years minimum, more than welcome. Do you look at the divergences between indices? That's a good question. Is that something you look
I do.
for?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't like to be in a position when one is trending up and the other one is just sideways or trending down.
Got you. Can you ask Yosh how he uses the DOM for confirmation? Yeah,
sure. So do we have the DOM open on the chart?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Which one are we looking at? Are we looking at ES or NQ?
I think the left.
The left. Okay. So we're looking at the ES one. So things I look on the DOM, I look at the speed of momentum. So that is something I've just trained my eyes to see watching the same product over the years. So when there's strong momentum, you tend to see tape like really speed up. You'll see it more common in NQ where it's like you can't even comprehend like the tick, like how fast it's moving, right? When that's happening, even though it gets to my area of interest above or below, I'm not gonna go against the momentum. So that's like a sign being like, let it settle down before I try shorting a move up into a point of interest. So I look at the speed of the momentum, speed of the tape, because on there you'll see. So this middle column here, it says at bid, at ask. So this refreshes, I believe. What's my interval, bro? Let me hold on. Let me try my settings as well. So this refreshes every 2,500 milliseconds. So those are the orders being filled at the bid and ask at that particular tick. So what I'm watching when it comes into a point of interest is how many orders are getting filled, the actual value getting filled. So if I see significant size, so I think 2 days ago when I was streaming, ES kind of pulled back and we saw 600 filled at the bid. So that created a big trade indicator popped up, like the bubble popped up. But I also saw that order here, like these are orders filled. They're not limit orders because limit orders can be pulled. So this right here is your limit order. So there is 132 stacked at 64, 182 at 65, but the middle columns you see are actual orders being filled. and it resets every 2,500 milliseconds. So I get how much orders are accumulating in a short time period. So I can see absorption happening. This is another view of absorption. You can also see it from the regular chart with the delta profile as well. And then, yeah, the delta profile is the same as the one you see on the chart that I mentioned earlier. And then I also have a volume profile on here that tells me the actual value of volume, like the traded per price. So
for Yush, are you mentor your child? I don't know what that means. Are you going to teach your child? I think they're trying to ask, would you teach your child to trade? I don't know. Seems a bit weird.
I would not teach my child how to trade. I think the probability of being successful at trading is so low. What I would do is teach them how to invest and like swing trade long term, because there's a higher return there, because the markets are created, at least S&P, NASDAQ are created to go up. Because the way I look at it is, it's like when there's uncertainty, that's when we get those phases of correction and I guess recession. But when that uncertainty kind of goes away, markets just slowly trend back up. Because we had this uncertainty of like this war stuff, and I feel like the uncertainty is slowly going away. And look at what's happened. I mean, really quickly, because the markets are more manipulated than ever before with Trump as a president. But that's how I view the market. So yeah, my kid, unless he really wants to learn, but I would tell him to get a degree first. Like I would not teach him while he's in school, college or high school. I'll wait for him to graduate. If he's interested, sure. But I wouldn't be like, you gotta trade. Like I want him to, or her to do what he or her wants to do in their life. I wouldn't be like, trade because it's financially free. It gives you that financial freedom. And it's so hard, dude. It's so hard. No matter what anyone says online, dude, trading is so freaking hard. Like I've seen so many in my 6 years of trading, like my friends trying to trade, people I met online on Discord, social media, and they have quit their jobs and they had a drawdown phase and they couldn't make out of it. So they had to go back to work. It's just so hard to maintain successful day trading, specifically. Swing trading, like in long-term investing, I think it's a little easier than day trading. But to do day trading successfully across multiple years, that's my goal, right? That's what I'm trying to do. But it's just so hard. I give props to someone who's been day trading for like 10 years because it's so hard. It is so hard.
It is. Well, the beauty of it is if you've mastered trading, they probably won't need to, which is good.
Yeah.
What do you think, though? NQ, I believe, on my chart has taken the all-time high. Nothing significant has happened since, but that is interesting.
Yeah, so ES is a little bit weaker. If you look at ES, it's kind of, it hasn't taken out previous day high yet, around above 172. But NQ is just stronger. So that means tech stocks are probably, let's see what tech stocks are kind of leading today. So Tesla's up 1.3, Microsoft is at 1.3. So yeah, every tech stocks are going booming, growth stocks and tech.
Damn, yeah.
So you're probably seeing money rotate into growth in tech today, so far.
You're all right, yes. We have a good one. MicroStrategy's up 10%. Crazy. What's crypto saying? Not looked at it for a while. Oh, someone asked, when is Yush's episode out on Chart Fanatics? Very good question. That is actually next. So yeah, the next episode on Chart Fanatics will be Yush's. He's trading live here today. So we've ruined it. We've ruined it already. We made a mistake. We should have probably done it. No, I'm joking. But full strategy breakdown with live trading from Yush. It's a really great episode. So yeah, that is next for those who are asking. That is next up. So looking forward to dropping that as well. But as I said, roundtable tomorrow. 6 of the best prop firm traders all on one podcast episode. It was great. How about inviting Tom Borwald? Yes, he's we were actually in the middle of shooting a Chart Fanatics with Tom, and then bombs started dropping on Dubai, so we had to pause slightly just to be safe. But we will have the TTT team on. When is the episode with Carmine and Fabio? Carmine and Fabio's episode is dropping after Yush's, actually. So yeah, We got a lineup. I'm telling you, there's an incredible lineup. Take order flow taking over. That's all we know.
All right, I have a trade idea here on ES. So
Yep.
you see how we have this low volume pocket, and it's lagging a bit compared to NQ. So I want to see if we can pull back into this low volume node, maybe even sweep a little below into overnight highs and reclaim for a potential long if we come back a little below. And I'm going to risk about 3 points on the trade, looking for 7-8 points, maybe a new high. That'll be the bonus. So we'll leave a runner for the bonus. But target, okay. I'm going to do 3 cons. Target 8 points for 2, and then we'll leave a runner to see and trail the stop to break even on the last one.
Okay, let's see what happens.
If that's the plan, all right? That's the plan. We'll see what happens.
That's it, yeah. That's it. Brian Stong's episode, that won't be released. Simply because he was talking about his run up on Apex, which didn't happen because he violated a bunch of rules, which he knew, which as far as I know he knew as well, because when I did the episode with him, it was so weird because he literally said, I said, what's your goal, like what do you want to do? He was like, I want them to take me live. And I was like, well, that's weird. who would want that? He got like 2.8 million at the time or something like that, and I was like, or 1.8 million, I can't remember. He's like, yeah, I want to be the first live trader at Apex. I was like, why would you?
I'm doing that, Riz. I'll take that role. Let me get the live.
Yeah. I was so confused.
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for the live, but I'll take the live.
Yeah, but maybe we'll reshoot with Brian. Nothing against Brian. It's just we talked heavily about obviously the run he was on at that time, but then a week or two later, it came out that wasn't happening. So we'll sit down with Brian again, no doubt. Chart Academy access, as I said, coming weeks. Lanto episode. Haven't sat down with Lanto yet, but that would be interesting. We'll have to check him out, check out his track record. He has been pretty open in terms of live logins and stuff by the looks of it, but we always like to see the statements and so on. But we'll see if that can happen in the future. It's up to a lot of the time. It's sometimes up to the guests, if they're willing to share the transparency and then come on. Some maybe don't like podcasts, in terms of doing them. They're not a preference, but we'll see. Us, we try and get everyone who has that track record, and if you're requesting them and they have the track record, they share it with us, more than welcome. It doesn't matter about thingy to us, followers or anything like that. We focus on that track record. Oh my god, flying in with the questions now.
Love it. Keep asking.
Keep me distracted.
We have something to do while this market just kind of consolidates and grinds up.
I didn't study Wyckoff. I kind of looked at it, but never studied it deeply. Have you ever looked into Wyckoff?
I have not.
You probably saved yourself a headache. It's fine. Any Indian trader in line? We had Jay Otani on, both Words of Wisdom, Chart Fanatics. We've had Pradeep Bondi, both phenomenal traders. Any more? I'm just trying to think top of my head. I don't think so as of right now, but not against it. Again, track record. Have anyone on from anywhere, any type of trading, as long as the track record's there, we welcome them. Best way to learn order flow, I would, from my experience, watch the videos, learn from the people who have done it before you, from Chart Fanatics episodes to their own personal content. They trade live a lot of the time as well. Check them out. But again, over to Yush for that one, who's someone who's traded order flow and trades order flow. What would you say the best way to learn? I
think the Chart Fanatics order flow series that you had is a great. I'm not just saying that because I'm on here. I'm actually serious. You'll learn a lot. I think Fabio and Carmine are great traders as well. They've been on the pod, or I should say Chart Fanatics. So check those out. Those are good points. But the best way to learn, no matter what strategy you trade, is take that and you have to apply it. You can't just with anything, not just trading related. You can watch videos, but if you don't apply it, you'll forget about it. So watch it, learn the concept behind it, and go look for it for yourself in the live market environment. I love dropping hot takes. This is another one. Back testing, that shit doesn't work for order flow, okay? The only real thing you can do with order flow is just watch it real time. You're not gonna be able to back test order flow. And if you're using order flow and TradingView, it's not gonna work because default TradingView does not come with tick data. So if you're looking at any order flow tools on TradingView, it's fake. It's not real. So you got to get a real order flow platform that has tick data to see real order flow.
I love it. We love hot takes around here. What does that do for us? I need a soundboard. There we go. When you said hot take, I should have pressed that. I should have done it. Trades by side. Have you contacted him? No, I haven't, because that guy obviously is not a legit trader. Some people really need to educate themselves on just obvious non-legit traders, and then those who are legit. There's some very easy signs. Face tattoos is one of them, just so you know. That's a hot take, right?
What? Wait, where did you get that from, bro? That's a hot take for sure.
That is. Do you have any face tattoos?
No, I don't have. I have 0 tattoos.
There you go. Okay, I'm just proving a point. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yo, someone in chat, find someone with tattoos that has a verified track record, and we're gonna get them on the pod. And the first question,
face tattoos.
Line is face tattoos. Yes, find a verified trader. We're gonna get them on Riz's pod, and the first question will be that. So I heard you think I'm not real. You can't. People with face tattoos can't.
Negative risk to reward straight away. But honestly, it's just some people are obviously not legit traders, and you just have to look at. And that's why it's important to just really try and educate yourself on some of the key signs of a legitimate trader and not, so you can save yourself, not buying courses or wasting time learning something that doesn't work or whatever it may be. You'll save yourself a lot of heartache. But everyone has to go through a journey, unfortunately. So even me saying that, I'm not saying that to say, hey, F that guy. That's up to you. You do what you want. But I would suggest you not to really thingy. Neo Young, a Japanese trader, would love to, again. Track record. Anyone you're mentioning, they have track records. All good. Yeah? All good. Because I see all the questions are just different names. Again, anyone and everyone, track record, welcome. Doesn't matter. I don't care. That's what I like about the whole track record thing, is that I don't have to worry about a damn thing. I don't have to say, do they have this many followers, or where are they from, or what? It doesn't matter. They have a track record. I don't care. Everyone's just throwing names in there, I swear.
Yeah. There's a team named Paladin. They want Paladin on.
Do you know Paladin? Yeah. Everyone wants him back. To this day, people ask me. I'll tell you where Paladin is. Okay, everyone. He's on monk mode. Okay, he's been on monk mode for the last 2+ years, and I think he's gonna stay on monk mode. And that's what happened to Paladin. Okay, you can clip that. Let people know. Paladin's on monk mode. I'm sorry.
He'll see it and he'll come back after seeing.
The market's in your area, no?
I'm in. 59.25.
Nice. What are you risking on this one?
3 points.
Everyone's just locked in now. We like it. Tom Hogard will be on the podcast, no doubt, in the near future. No doubt at all.
Great book, by the way. Tom Hogard has a great book.
Yeah.
Best Losers Wins. I don't know if you read it. It's a really good book.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, nothing else is really moving that much. How are we looking at the moment?
Just watching it. Want to see this I want to see us quickly reclaim, close above. Okay, here's a push. I do not want to see us close below 57's overnight high. Defend that overnight high.
Here we go.
So what ends up happening a lot when we have NQ has trended up a lot more than ES, particularly. But when you get a sell like this, a lot of shorts tend to just fly in and be like, okay, this is it. This is the reversal. And that's where a lot of traps start to happen.
Someone asked, are you in long or short? You're in long, right?
Well,
Is when you're looking at it right now, is there anything in particular that you're looking out for to manage, or just is it literally just sit and wait?
just sit and wait. I do not want us to close under 170, 157.25s overnight high.
Okay. Well, you do that. Yeah, I know you've sent this question a few times. Curious to hear your thoughts. Do you see the retail prop industry surviving 4 to 5 years in the future, especially in simulated side or the industry as a whole? I'll just answer very briefly. I know Yush already said at the start of this year that the nature of the prop space will change in terms of a lot of people will be moved to live a lot faster than previously.
Riz stopped out there. We closed under.
Closed under? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not coming back, chat. This is it for me. Riz is like, yo.
Well, this is your losing sound right there. Yeah. Every time we hit a stop loss, that's it.
Yo, you got to get that sound. It's like, the little kid crying, like, I just want to go home.
Oh man, that's okay. Well, it's interesting. Nothing really. Obviously, NQ has taken all-time high. It's extended, it pushed quite aggressively, but not crazily aggressively, but it's still pushing right now. Euro.
So I'm actually going to retry this if you reclaim it, right? So I took my stop. I want to see if you can get over. If this closes back above, I might retry this.
Okay. Okay.
If you can switch to my ES Dom, there is 400 stacked at 57.75 now. Right here. See that? So if you have like your bookmap tool, you can also see that, but this is the old school fashion. So that is a limit order sitting there. See if it gets filled. So how I can tell if it gets filled is I'll see it right here at the bid. If that order actually gets filled, that same size. And then the column next to it on the left is like the amount that's stacking or pulling. So stacking means the orders that are added at that particular bid, that price level. And then minus is when they pull the orders. So there's subtraction, as in like, okay, there's 300, so they took out 100. Riz, unlucky. Just like ICT said it, they're targeting me, man. They're freaking targeting me. They took my stop and back.
It is. They're watching the stream, man. They're watching the stream. Obviously, I have the market makers on the podcast, so they know who I am. So they watch my every move. You know, we made an agreement. It's kind of like the Illuminati. They wouldn't kidnap me as long as I don't tell the world their secrets. You know. But here we are. I said I broke that rule now.
I see a question here that says, "Bro, what point do you accept the market is not moving today and just go touch grass?" So I mentioned this in the pod too. Usually I'm trading 2 or 3 times, and that's how my risk is kind of divided. So if I'm red on the next trade, I'll hit my DLL and I'll be forced to stop. Well, DLL as in it's not a hard systematic. It's a personal DLL I define, right? So that's how I kind of divided up my risk. Is I give myself 3 tries today of red trades. If I'm red, those 3 trades, it's not my day. I'll come back tomorrow.
So you got one more try left.
Yep.
So does that mean we're going full max lot?
How much? Okay, so I'm down. We can do. So I'm down 1.5 right now. So yeah, we got 1.5. So we could do 3 cons on NQ, 20 points. If I can find a good entry point where I can almost risk 20 points, but I'm not gonna long up here. This is horrible. Risk reward up here on NQ.
Yeah, of course. Just grinding upwards there.
Over trading? Do you want me to overtrade? Is that what we want? Just go all in? Yeah, you know what we should have done, Riz? We should have got you a futures eval and try to get you to pass. You know, just be like, see what you could have done with NQ or ES.
We will. No, we'll do that next time. I know you said you won't come back, but come back and we'll do that.
Do you guys want to see that? Yeah, Riz live learning, order flow, and futures. That would be freaking insane. Yeah, like the stream. Let us know in chat if you want to see it. And Riz told me in the back end just now, he just sent me a message that if he passes the eval, he's going to give away a few $100s as well.
I'll do it. Hey, if I pass an eval, I'll do it. Yeah. So that means I'll get so high.
He's going to be on that path to getting 500K in payouts. That's why he's like, I'm going to give the money away before I even get those payouts because I'm so confident.
I get used to signals. Man. Man. Do you feel like the last month of trading has been more difficult than usual? I wouldn't say so. Personally, I wouldn't say like maybe more difficult. It depends on your strategy. Like I said, like, you know, as we were talking earlier, the beginning on NQ with all that choppiness, for someone like Okala, for example, I'm not speaking for him, but you know, like that was a bit of a range, short, tight price action. No doubt would be great for him, but someone else might look at that and go, "Whoa, that is terrible! Oh my god, I could never trade that. It's the end of the world." But the reality is, it really just depends, right? Because the one thing I've noticed over the 10 years now that I've been trading is I've seen it time and time again. While one person says this is the best market conditions ever, I love it, at the exact same time I see a post or tweet or someone say these are the worst conditions ever, what's going on? And it's just the nature of perception, right? Like how you perceive things and your strategy. It's always going to be the case. Like while, you know, 100-point move to someone might be a massive move, to another person might be nothing. Like, well, that's nothing, right? Based on, their perception, their strategy. So it really depends. How about Riz trade? Futures prop, but trade 6E. Yeah, should, you know, the EU futures. We'll see. I should do it though, to be fair. Because to be fair, next week I go away. So next week I'll be away in America for just a quick week. Then after that, I'll be home for a few months. So I will definitely stream and I'll grab some evals, grab some prop accounts, jump on stream and let's do our best, you know? And don't worry, I'm not like these other boys on the stream who want to follow their strategies. I'll trade whatever you want. You tell me to fully load up, I'll do it. Okay? I'll do what you guys want. I'll just follow what you guys are doing and then we'll see what the chat's saying. Then the next day I'll do it my way and we'll see how I'm doing and we'll see who wins. Yeah, we'll do it like that.
This guy asked, Yush, why do you get targeted by trolls? Because I just keep it unfiltered and I troll right back because I don't care. That's why. It's fun, honestly. With trading, I don't trade so much that I'm like constantly in and out. Like I mark my areas, so like, I'm just waiting most of the time. So trolling, you know, you add some entertainment to the stream as well. So when I'm streaming, I troll the chat. We have fun with it.
Definitely. What's it doing at the moment? It's kind of just chopping around. Yeah, NQ is selling off from the high there. No, nothing significant, but nothing too crazy. Oh man. Someone said, this is an interesting question. Where is it? Is over leveraging a skill issue or a spiritual problem? That is one way of saying it.
What? Skill issue?
Yeah. Is it a skill issue?
I don't really think it's a skill issue because if you do it enough times, I'm willing to bet you're gonna lose everything. So definitely not a skill issue. It's just I would say luck, right? A few times you over leverage, you might make a lot, but if you do, I promise you, just like at a casino, if you stay at a casino for too long, you end up losing everything. You leave with nothing. So same with over leveraging. If you do it enough times, you will hit a stride where it feels great, and then you're like, holy shit, I just lost all that money that I made.
Yeah. It's true. You know, time flies when you're on a stream. Yeah, it's like it's already been like an hour and 45. That's crazy. I mean,
the stream's been a lot of questions. That's great.
That's good.
Good questions.
What your streams like?
Yeah, same. Well, I got more trolls. That's just the nature of things. So because I troll back. Chat here is more mature for sure.
Except for they're asking for trades by Psy.
Trade by side. Yush, what adjustments would you make if you had to trade Asia, London? Well, Asia, don't trade before 8 p.m. EST because the first 2 hours of Asia, just barely any volume. I don't like to trade Asia in itself because sometimes even after 8 p.m. there's not much volume. London is way better. So London for me opens at I think 3 a.m. EST. So I definitely would not size the same. I would size down and I would definitely build a position and look for a longer swing play because the action is much slower. I wouldn't be scalping in those markets. Oh yeah, see Riz, so we got someone from my chat. It's like tell Billy Bob's having a day of his life. So we have a dedicated person who inverses all my trades. His name is Billy Bob. So he gets all excited when I lose, but he just disappears when I'm winning because he's blowing accounts.
So today he's loving life.
He's loving life. If he's
begging for one more trade.
He's like, "Come on, keep going. I'm about to get this payout."
You still got $1,500 left.
It's not over. So look, I don't know what is. So I've streamed Monday and Tuesday, right? The first 2 trades, losses. Yesterday on the drawdown that I had to find, I was down to $700, closed up 1K. So it's not over until it's over.
That's right. We ain't leaving. Motivate is your platform. Yeah. Giveaway today. Yes. What is it with these giveaways, man? It's like
that's normal.
Once you say at the end. Yeah. The forbidden word.
You gotta keep watching. They might not even be at the end. We might just drop one in the middle. So you gotta keep watching. Keep watching me lose money and us yapping, or you're not gonna get any giveaways. We should just drop one randomly. I'm telling you, Riz, because everyone's just gonna tune in at the end. Nah, you gotta keep watching.
That's it. Fanatics Live. It's not me. We got a team back here. What's this one? Oh damn, that's a good one as well. That's a good one. Oh man, I forgot I had that one. Okay. My goodness. There's a guy, his name is Trading Legend. He's an Indian guy and makes a ton of money trading gold. Bring him, please. Does he have a track record of 2 years that he can share with me? Because if not, that's what I think to that. Okay. Yeah. Do this all day. The answer is the same, everybody. Anyone you say, any name that you put in that chat, the answer will always be the same. All right? What prop firm for swing trader? Swing trading, Alpha Capital, obviously. Alpha Capital, sponsor of Chart Fanatics and Words of Wisdom. They have a swing trading model. It really depends. But yeah, Alpha Capital, I think FTMO has one, obviously. But they've changed it now, to be fair. So I don't know if they still do. That's who I was trading with last year, but I don't think they offer the accounts I used to have. What was the most about you made in trading? Amount. For me, the biggest payout I did in one go was my first ever payout and my first ever prop firm account that I passed. So here's my prop firm story for you that probably blow you away. First ever account ever trading prop firms, 100K account, FTMO, passed phase 1, passed phase 2, first time, got funded. On my first ever account, I did 62% or 61% return, did a 60K payout, but obviously after profit split, which back then was 70-30, then converted from US dollars to pounds, it was 30-something thousand pounds in one payout. And then obviously I thought prop firms were like this glitch in the system. So the next month I tried to do 100% return and obviously only did like 2 or 3. Then the next month I failed and spent a couple months like trying to chase that high, of course. But that is a great story, right? That's a great story. You know, first ever time. Completely mashed it up. Usually see price bounce from low volume known. What's going on, man? ES is not. What's it doing? It's just in that same area. What is it you want to see right now?
So I'm seeing sign of some assertion here. Look at all this positive delta built up here. Right here. Hold up. Point it out, chat. So I want to see us kind of look above 990s, quickly reject and get below for potential short for a retracement back to 944. This one is not like an A+ setup for me, but based on where we're trading, I think we do pull back a bit into this low volume node. This, I'm also interested if we do pull back in here under these lows, 930s, because we have a lot of low volume nodes here on this breakout out of value down here. But I'm not interested in the ES setup anymore because of this choppiness here. And if you look, right, look at what happened at near these highs. Do we have some trap buying up here? Negative, you see the big trades, 240 lots, 400, delta cluster built here. I've zoomed in like hella so we can see it. So just waiting.
Just waiting. And that's what we're paid to do. But a lot of the time, traders are just paid to wait. You just don't realize it. Because you get paid later, you know? You get paid later. You just don't realize it. Because like in 1 week, you might, maybe let's say you take no trades or even you take some losses. If you start looking at it from that week, you think you failed and oh my God, I've lost my edge and it's all over. But then let's say by the end of the month, you're actually up $10,000, right?
Yeah.
But during that week, you felt like nothing. Like you felt like everything wasn't working and broken and change your strategy. If you do that with every day or every week or every trade or set of trades, you're never going to stick to a strategy and you're never going to really dial in. Like, because the reality, as you said near the beginning of this stream, is you're going to lose. Like it's just inevitable.
Exactly.
You can't, you know what I mean? Not all days are going to be trading days. Not all days are you going to win. It's just the reality, and that's what I like. You know, I like trying to show that, and you're sharing that as well. And even having losses today, it's like we don't control the markets. You can't control if we're going to win or not.
No, dude,
if we could, we would.
And I've said it right. What we can only control is how much we're going to lose, and I know what I'm going to lose. That's why, like, I don't know if you can notice it, Riz. Like, even when I lose, I'm just trolling still. It doesn't matter. It's like as long as you're in this game, like I'm planning on trading for I don't know as long as I want to. And these risk management process is how it's going to keep me in there. So check this out, all right? We're not in this, but this is a good sign. This is a good example of absorption here. A lot of positive delta. We had the area, right? I'm being a little more cautious because I am in drawdown. So I'm waiting for that extra confirmation. So I wanted 990 to get swept, some buying to come in and quickly get met with selling to short it, which we didn't get. Boo-hoo, but you see the sign of absorption, right? A lot of positive delta soaked up, and we're getting that move down to these low volume nodes now. Order flow.
So that is one thing I've reflected on when it comes to order flow is that even if you lose a trade or you don't take a trade or you miss a trade or whatever, the understanding of the market of why it has done this or moved here or why it didn't is there. And I think that's where we were talking about earlier, like order flow is what ICT tries to make out that ICT concepts are, is that you have such a deeper understanding of what's going on in the markets, that transactional behavior and relationship between buyers and sellers.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the ways I really learned is you don't need to put risk on in every trade to be like, oh, like I know this works for me. This is the strategy for me. Sometimes you learn best by just watching, right? That experience. And with order flow, that's more true than ever. Like I'm not putting risk on every single setup that I see. Sometimes I'm just getting that market knowledge that like, I guess just watching the market and be like, okay, this is a setup. I can note this down for future reference. So you don't always have to put risk on, even though you're watching the market. Sometimes you watch to learn. And I'm always learning. I'm not the freaking best trader. I don't think even the best traders don't stop learning. And the one aspect of trading that every trader, even the best traders, will say this: they will go on tilt. But you know why they don't blow up or stuff? Because they have their downside capped. And that's what I've taken away from the best traders that I've seen online, I've read about in books, is they're not trying to prevent they're not trying to prevent red days, or they're not saying, oh, I never tilt, or I have like 100% win rate. They just have people, either risk managers, if they work at prop firms, that manage to be like, okay, slow down, we're going to adjust your risk because you're not seeing the market right in this period, in this environment. Or they themselves are like, I'm capping myself until I get the confidence back. Because a lot of trading is also confidence. When you're not winning a lot, the confidence will obviously shrink. So what do you have to do? A lot of amateur traders or trading is just oversizing when things are not going your way. You should be sizing down when things aren't going your way. Size down, get that confidence back up, and compound those small wins, because those small wins will give you the confidence.
That is true. Not only that, though, there's also the fact that those small wins allow you to, for when you get to an A+ setup, or you get to a setup that you feel more confidently in, or you feel like you're just generally, your confidence is sort of built up, and you're feeling really in the zone, and really, you know, feeling that edge is on your side, not only from a strategy perspective, but also, you know, how you're feeling and how clear or calm you are. Now those small wins have allowed you to have just a little bit more risk, right? A little bit, even if it's not more risk in terms of what you're putting on, but even just more of a calmness, because you know you have a bit of a buffer there behind you. And so I mean, like, I think Trades by Matt called it the base hits, right? Like, those base hits are so important. If anything, the base hits are really what save your trading long term and allow you to trade long term, is because you collect those over time, from both the risk perspective we talked about and the and just the confidence side of things, you know, letting it build up. When am I going to share my trading style on Chart Fanatics? I could, but it would just be me talking by myself. That would be a bit boring. You know, we need to bring someone to be a host. We'll bring someone indeed.
Riz, I want to ask you the same question. Would you teach your kids trading? You asked me. I don't know if you answered it. Because you actually have kids. I'm not a dad yet, so I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I would teach them how to read markets. So not even like on a trading level, like short term, but I would teach them how to read, like, you know, higher time frame charts and stuff, and understand markets, so that they can, as you said as well, like invest, understand like money flows, and understand, you know, the themes. So more so stocks, I guess. But if they wanted to trade futures or Forex, or like they actually had a genuine passion or enjoyment, and you know, felt like that's something they wanted to do, then yeah, I'd be more than happy to. But I wouldn't force it, like you said. You know, the thing is with trading, and I say it all the time, is you have to have actual genuine passion for it, because that's the only thing. And that's with everything, though. Anything you want to succeed in life, especially if you want to succeed at trading, you have to have a passion for it. You will do it for the money. We all get into it probably for the money, right? Without a doubt. But if you also don't back that up with an actual genuine passion for the markets, no matter the market that you trade, whether it's crypto, Forex, futures, options, stocks, it doesn't matter. You have to have that passion, because only with that passion will you be willing to go into the depths of research and learning, and more importantly, the losses. Because only when you're losing will that, you know, when you're losing, if you're still attached to money only, it's the opposite of why you're into it. But if you actually have that passion there, that's what's going to allow you to overcome that, sort of see through that, and try and do better. Because that's the truth, right? That's the truth. I have not met a single person yet who isn't passionate about trading, right? They're not passionate about trading. Because at the end of the day, again, don't get me wrong, I've met some guys who have only been trading a couple years, and they're not really trading, though. They're playing the prop firm model. No problem, right? But the beauty is some of those guys, if not all of them, understand that. They understand they're just playing the prop firm model. They're not trying to be a trader long term. As long as they can play the model, they'll play the model. As soon as they can't, they're not going to try and trade. The problem I have with some people, though, is that they're playing the prop firm model, calling themselves traders, and then selling education. That's a problem, right? Because if you were selling education on how to play the prop firm model, that's fine because you're being truthful. But if you're saying, hey, I'm a trader, I have edge, here's my course. But in reality, you're just risking 50K to make 100 by full porting challenges. It's not really genuine, right? That's why, like, going back to Yush's point about how you trade, you should really be trying. Your goal, if you're trying to have a long-term career, is to make sure that way you're trading can be done live, right? Because then it doesn't matter whether you get moved to live, whether you decide to open a live account, whether you get shadow banned from prop firms for whatever reason. It doesn't matter because you hold all the cards still because you have edge, right? So yeah. How to make better the psychology. Psychology is an interesting one because a lot of people blame psychology when they don't have edge, right? That's the truth about trading psychology, is most people will blame psychology when they actually don't have any trading edge and they don't have an actual strategy that's profitable. When in reality, if they fix that first, now the real psychological problems can show themselves. And you can actually identify the real psychological problems because now you've actually got a profitable strategy. It might be that a certain risk size is too much for you to handle. It might be that after a certain number of losses, you actually do go on till, right? But yet your data tells you that 5 average losing streak is an average that is true within your strategy. So if you're going on tilt after 2, that's something you need to work on. That's a real sort of problem, psychological problem. The issue is that people don't actually have edge, but when they take losses, they blame their psychology. They say, "Oh, I'm not profitable because of my mindset." But that's just not true because you actually don't have edge. So that's why you're not profitable, right? So I'd say the best way to make it better first is to make sure you have edge. Secondly is to then be aware. So really try and bring more awareness to how you're feeling and how you're reacting in real time when you're trading. It's funny how real traders don't usually suggest trading. Yeah, it is true. It is true. Do you know those stats, Yush, for your trades? Do you have like an average risk to reward and win ratio?
Yeah. So my average, every trade I plan is usually 2R. And then sometimes I'll cut it early if I see things change. So my average is about like 1.6R from the data that I have. And then my win rate's around like 75.
Nice.
Again, the RR is 1.6 because I cut trades early because I'm scalping and I'm like, okay, things have changed. So I cut it quicker than the planned TP.
Well, there we have it on Euro, by the way, guys. We took out those lows, as I said at the beginning. Seemed pretty obvious in a sense, based on the price action. Oh, you can see my screen. Yeah, can you see my screen? Yeah, you can see my screen.
I really like this trade. This is where we're gonna risk the 1.5 that I have left. In a bit, if it come back down, I think we will. In here, between 928.7, let me mark it. So if it comes back in the area, sorry, Riz. I want people to kind of know the area. So if it does come back, they're just like, why the fuck did you just enter without saying anything?
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just saying very briefly, like, we marked out at the beginning the lows, the most recent lows. It makes sense for it to get there, right? What else is there for us to do? We've already come from the highs. We've taken. This is the thing with higher time frames, is even if you're a scalper, higher time frames are so important. Because let me just clean this up. I hate messy charts. But higher time frames are so important because what have we done? We've run up quite aggressively. We've swept liquidity to the left. What I class as liquidity, but it's just some highs to the left, significant highs. So what have we got left to do now? Yes, we could push higher, but we've already swept liquidity. We've already significantly pushed higher without much of a retracement. So the natural order of things is for price to retrace. So then when we find ourselves retracing, we need to look at, okay, where does it make sense for price to react to then potentially go higher again? The most significant area immediately is over here, right? These significant higher lows that were formed that led to a more significant higher high. But in between that, there's nothing, right? There's just again, fair value gaps for what people may call them. So there's nothing. So really, in essence, for me, overall, I would be looking at price getting to these levels at the minimum. But short term, as we said today, these lows right here, right? Was there a trade for me? Not really. But if you were to look at it, if we bring it back, you had a very clear area, very similar to what we were talking about, where prices transacted in terms of a support resistance area. You had the EMAs, yeah, but again, I don't really use them in terms of entry or anything. They're more of a higher time frame thing for me. And then if we go lower to like a 5 minute, there's nothing screaming at me. There's nothing saying, hey, this is an obvious trade to take. Really, all you got for me is just lower lows, lower highs. So you could enter on them maybe, but nothing significant. Not really the best area. The trades were yesterday and Monday. And Friday, sorry. So Friday's trade up here, really great trade. And then Monday, Tuesday here, really great trade. Those were the two trades to really take in order to short and target this low, or maybe even extend to this low right here. Yeah. That's really the recap on there. Anything else? Gold. Nothing really happened in gold. Selling. Again, I like this level right here. We've swept the highs. Where are the lows? Where are the significant lows that we want to see? That's the closest one to me. And it looks right now. No, nothing's really happening too much right now. Yeah. That Nightbot is wrong. Chart Fanatics. Use the code CF. I think it's 50% off at Apex right now. So yeah, trade obviously safe. Trade your plans, your systems. I believe it's 50% off at Apex at the moment. There we go. Let's just go back to Yush's chart. See, keep an eye on that.
Just waiting for that area to get tested, come down. But the trade idea that we mentioned, again, I wanted that one sweep over 990, but it did come back into below these lows. Again, idea was there. I was just being cautious with the drawdown that we have left.
Definitely. Oh, you can still see my chart. Anthony, we can change that over to Yush's, sorry. There we go.
I'm taking longs right now on NQ, especially with the low volume pocket that we have down here. So I'm waiting for this zone to get tested between 930s and 920.
Yeah, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Wednesday today? Yeah. Is there FOMC today as well?
I don't. Is there? I did not see it on the calendar. Let me double check.
I might be wrong. I just got an email from a prop firm saying FOMC. Are they trying to throw me off?
Yeah, there's no FOMC today.
Oh my god, it's a trick. Fail. Trying to get me to full port, eh? Yeah, no, we'll do that though. So next week I'm off, but the week after we'll stream. We'll get some accounts loaded up and trade away. We will trade away. I'm excited for it.
Again, same spot, right? Look at this. More buying came in, met with selling. When he came to those 980s.
Next Wednesday.
Oh, it's next week. There you go.
Should load accounts up for then. Get them ready.
One day pass accounts.
That's it, yeah.
Is it the minutes or is it the actual FOMC with Powell speaking at the end?
I think it's the whole thing, I imagine. But we'll see.
Yeah, there's a press
How much is your net worth? My net worth is 0, my friend. Yeah, I spend all my money on studios and productions and roundtables.
And while traveling, he full ports evals, so the money just goes out the door.
Oh god, yeah. Honestly. So are you still waiting for price to hopefully get down to those lows, the low volume node to then long?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm not interested in this area. Let me mark it. I'm not interested in this area, interacting in this area. I want to see either us sweep above 990, see how it reacts for a potential short, or we go down here around 930s, 920s for a potential long into this low volume node. Because if you kind of look at what's going on now, we're kind of forming value here, right? You see this cluster building out right here?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see if we can try, again, same concept as we tried the first trade, right? Where we looked above value. I tried to look for a failed breakout. We took the stop loss and obviously retested, went higher. So I want to see if it rejects here. The top of this volume cluster is building. And I'm always extra cautious, especially at all-time highs. You'd never want to short an all-time high. That's how you keep getting stopped.
Of course. That's what a lot of people will do. They'll miss the original move. It's interesting. I've been there. I don't know about anyone else in the chat. Feel free to throw that in there. But you know, your original bias coming into the day might be long, right? And you're right. And it goes without you miss it. So then you just start shorting because your mentality is like, oh, I'll short to then long later. But then you just get so blinded by the fact that you missed out. And that's, again, an emotional trigger. So that's something in terms of psychology. How do you do that? You start to be more aware. Like, okay, I had the plan to go long. It worked out. I was right. I should have been profitable, but maybe you either missed an entry because you weren't at the chart, or two, they didn't present an entry for your strategy, right? And that's important to notice. So if let's say that's a reoccurring theme for you, again, best thing you can do is start to be more aware, start to think of the triggers. What is the trigger? Is it the fact that I missed the move? Is it the fact that I needed the money? Is it the fact that maybe I've had some losses the last few days and that would have been a good win? What is it? Maybe it's all of those things, right? But a lot of people just kind of ignore or don't think about the triggers. They just kind of go, that was a shit day, or I messed up, or I've lost, or they may have blown an account, and then they just kind of repeat it. They're doomed to repeat it because they don't actually look into it or try and study it. Riz, what's the clear distinction between Chart Fanatics channel and PFT channel? Chart Fanatics is obviously the strategy dedicated channel. PFT is a prop firm dedicated channel. So, you know, only prop firm traders there. It will have strategies on there as well, but only prop firm traders, prop firm owners, everything prop firms is on prop firm trader channel. Chart Fanatics is obviously all types of traders with track records, so prop firms or not. Heavily has been not prop firm traders, because to be fair to you, there aren't many prop firm traders who have 2+ years of performance. That's the truth. There's there's not that many who have 2+ years. You know, there are many who have a year or 6 months, maybe even just over a year. But there's not many who have 2+ years of consistent performance. And on top of that, it's not just performance, it's also edge that can be replicated within the actual markets as well. So that's the other question I ask traders is like, what is your edge? Is it something that you would replicate on live, or is it a prop firm model? You know, so yeah, that's the key difference between them two. Let's see. Live account or prop firm account, what would you recommend? It really depends, you know. I would say what's wrong with both, but it really just depends. It really just depends on what you need, your trading style, you know, what you prefer, how much capital you have. If you, let's say, only had a few $100s or a few $1,000s, personally, I'd probably say go prop firms first. Use the leverage, get the ROI. You know, get 5, 10 plus thousand that you could then put into a personal account later. Would be my recommendation. If you, however, have quite a substantially larger sums available, what's wrong with going live first? You know, there's options. But I imagine for most in here, prop firms is going to be your starting point, and that's why you should go to Alpha Capital and Apex Trader Funding. Use the code CF. Yeah, natural point right there. Yeah,
natural
point right there. Yeah, I'm gonna be one of those TV commercial sellers. Yeah? Man, when are we getting Chart Academy? Man, that's like, I'm glad everyone's excited for it. It's coming. I promise you. 3-4 weeks. 3-4 weeks, and you will have Chart Academy. It's an interesting question. This guy's been throwing in interesting questions all day. What does your worst trading day teach you that your best trading day never could? Oof. That's a deep question right there, Yush. I'm going to give that to you.
The question was like, what does the worst trading day teach me?
What is your worst trading day taught you that your best day could never teach you?
Okay. So most people think worst day as trading is like when you lose. To me, it's not about what the win or loss. Like yesterday for me was a bad trading day because my execution was just off. Like I ended green, but my execution was not good. I was chasing and I tilted a bit. So my worst trading days, I'm chasing. It doesn't, no matter the results, win or loss, it could be a mix of me getting impatient with trading, not waiting for the areas that I've defined, chasing a little bit of tilt, because it happens. It's natural. It's human nature. So that's what I would say. For me, it's not about the win or loss. That's not how I measure success. I measure success based on performance. How am I executing? How am I feeling while I'm in a trade? Am I getting anxious when I'm in a trade? Am I getting impatient? Things like that. But that's what I would say, Riz. What about you? I'm throwing it right back at you. I know it's a hard question. I gave you time to think about it. Let's hear it now.
I would definitely say that it's trade what you see, not what you think, right? So like one of my biggest losses, especially early on in my career, it was personal funds, and I'd been on a bit of a run of not flipping accounts, but like doing decently well, and then I lost it all, which was I was just trading what other people were saying, trading what I felt like. When I actually reflected afterwards and looked at the chart was telling me, and it was just a candlestick chart, but the chart was saying that this was going in the opposite direction, right? But I was just so caught up in other people's thoughts and my own personal, what I thought was going to happen or I think should happen versus, and you don't really feel that in, your wins. Your wins, you don't really go back and look at it, and you don't really, it's very rare that you took a win because someone said it or the crowd saying it, right? It's normally the opposite. But yeah, that would simple one for me, I guess. But one that really stuck with me after that, because I was like, yeah, that was obviously going to be wrong, but I just was so caught up in in what I thought.
It's a good one.
Ba-ba.
Can you speak a little about your strategy for NQ and what you look for? You gotta watch the chart Fanatics. It's coming. It's too soon. All right, it's gonna come out. And what it is? Do you know when it's gonna come out?
Yeah, it should be out either this Sunday or next Sunday. All right. I think that actually it'll be next
There you
Sunday.
go. You can find out.
For sure.
Examples. I think we have the live trading, right? We fixed the live trading portion. And then we have a nice little goal.
A live trade.
I guess we technically did it today, right?
Yeah, we'll add this live trading in there as well. There we go. Oh, the markets are so fun. So exciting. Should we do some giveaways whilst we wait?
Yeah.
Let's do some alpha cap ones to begin with. Two hours 30, yeah. Perfect. All the way in there. First of all, give Samir Trades FX an account. Just give him straight out. 50K account, Alpha Capital. Yeah, that guy's questions were great. That's how we like to reward people for actually focusing on the stream. Yeah. Did I take that Euro sell? No. I said at the beginning, it wasn't in an area of entry for me at all, for me personally. I don't know about for anyone else, but there was no area that I liked for an actual entry there, but it played out. And so that's what I mean. Like sometimes you can but like have a good idea of what price should do and it'll play out, but it doesn't mean there's an entry. Like I knew there was no entry for me there. I wasn't even going to try because I know there was just no entry for my system there. Yeah, just tell chat to do exclamation mark join, and you'll join the giveaway. But who is it? Samir, go to the Discord and then submit that you won a giveaway 50K Alpha Capital account there. Just send the screenshot with the proof of your actual YouTube handle, and that'll be all good. But everyone else, exclamation mark join. Yeah, exclamation mark join. Now everyone's active, eh? For a minute there, you all like fell asleep or something, but now you're all alive. What is it about these bloody giveaways, eh? We love it there. Here we go. Everyone get hyped, look. Everyone get hyped. We got the air horns out. We're ready. Area, any price isn't really doing anything for you, Yosh, is it?
I'm watching it here at 9. It swept the 990s, but I'm just watching it here. There's good momentum on the upside, so I don't want to short into that just yet.
Someone said Yosh looking cute.
Thanks, bro.
So someone said it. They put an emoji where the guy's drooling as well.
Yeah.
Man, what's going on today? What's going on with the chat?
All the trolls are out. I mean, thank you, I guess.
Oh, man. Hey, Riz, how many of those books on your bookshelf have you read? I've read, like... It's a good question. It's a good question.
That's such a good question. They're paying attention to every detail.
I know. 2. I'm just checking which books are on there. 1 second. 2.
You know what we could do for a giveaway, Riz? If someone can zoom into that, the first person to say a book there, she deserves an account because they went detail oriented. Okay, they're like, oh, Riz has that book.
We can do one like that. I've read like 4 books on there, or 5 books maybe. It's a great collection though. There's a lot of good books on there, as far as I know. Yeah. Can anyone name a book? First person to name a book on there. Yeah, Chart Academy is coming for that. So not on Chart Fanatics, but Chart Academy, you have full masterclasses on all sorts of various topics. Trading in the zone. That is there. Yes, bang. There you go. I can't pronounce your name, but you got one. You got it. No one gets any more now because he already got it. But yeah, just again, Discord, send your username, and you are good to go. Alpha Capital account for you, 50K. All good. Everyone hit join now. We done? Are we? Oh, that guy won one. There you go. There we go. Giveaways are given. We can do a couple more of the same account type. You can do an Apex one as well, of course. Apex Trader Funding.
I'm gonna try a short here, Riz. 940. Sorry, 984s.
Okay.
I like how we got above, swept highs, made new high days, and we're below 990s now. I want to see us hold below though.
Are you risking the 15?
Yeah.
Nice. So back in. There we go. Oh, that was the email I got.
I want to see. We need to get below this 980. I think we'll get a nice little move down. We can break below 980 here.
Here we go. We got a trade to maybe finish the stream. Who knows?
That's where we have the huge delta build, positive delta build up.
Mm-hmm.
All-time high markets, man. I hate trading all-time highs.
This guy said, Riz, I twisted my neck trying to read one good trade and responded before the winner.
Hey man, it was a good creative way, okay? He did say one and he picked it. Come on, guys. Don't be trolling Riz.
Thing is,
person.
I can't scroll that high. It's not there anymore. Is it? It's because of all the joins that were along with it. I can't even see it. Nope. Oh, wait. Someone said Harry Potter, actually. I just read that now.
Chris, out of all the books, how many of like the writers of those books have you had on the pod, do you think? Or do you know on top of your head? Like all the books, right? I'm sure you've had a few of the traders or, writers on the pod. I got stopped. It took me out there. What was that?
We're not having Yush back. This is... No. Can't do it, Yush.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
You forgot to play the sound. You forgot to play the sound. Where's the sound
Oh.
at? The soundboard.
We'll give you multiple.
That was the ICT stop hunt right there. Okay. They targeted me. I promise you, they targeted me. If this goes down after taking me out, so look, this is where I got stopped out right here. If this wicked up, took me out, and goes, I'm the new ICT that says they're targeting my algorithms. They're targeting my bot, Riz.
My God. This guy said, I didn't just guess. I actually zoomed in and did what you asked. You didn't write one good trade though, you joker. I went back and checked. You lying bastard. Yeah. You don't lie to me. Someone did actually send one before you, actually, which before that guy, Atomic Habits. James-D4B6S. You can also win a 50k account because you did actually send before him. The other guy. So this guy, I hate people who lie. Honestly. With giveaways, it's the worst. It's the worst. People lie and cheat and do all sorts of nonsense. There's no point swearing to God because I just went and checked. I just checked it myself. I went back and looked. But yeah, James, you had just a message on support. Look, there's a spin. Spin the wheel. Check this out. It's spinning. Here we go. Bang. Wherever that says you want an account. Check that out. Someone said spin that shit.
No patience, man. Just go. Just do it.
I know. Get out of the way. There we go. Oh, man. What a stream. What a stream. Any more giveaways, Amp? Mr. Producer? Or do you want to put it onto a partner scene and I'll give everyone the rundown? What day is it? Wednesday today, yeah. So remember, tomorrow, 3 p.m. UK time, 10 a.m. Eastern, the biggest roundtable ever done. The biggest roundtable ever done. I don't think Yush can take any more trades, unless he can. Are you in a trade still?
No. We're done. I have my personal DLO.
There we go.
I'm gonna be hitting the gym now, enjoying life.
He's gonna be raging.
Yo, I'm gonna take the anger out at the gym on those machines.
There we go. Yush, I will let you go. I don't want to hold you much longer, but obviously we will have you back. We'll do that challenge as long as you will come back. I know it's bad luck today. You know, it's not my fault. Like we said, trading. Market makers. Well, it's part of trading. Sorry, you're right.
Whoa, no. Wait. Let's look at this shit, Riz. They took my stop, bro. They know where my stops are. Look. This is the entry right here, right? This is my stop right here. You see it on the chart where I got stopped out. Insane. 3 ticks above reverses.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, this was really fun. Obviously, look, Riz, there was people that were in my chat. They're like, Riz is always serious. See, he's got a playful side.
We try. We try. We will. We'll run it back, man. When I'm back,
we'll run it back. Down, I think we should get you an eval and try to get you to pass. That's what we got to do for the next one.
100%. We'll do that next one for sure. I'm down for it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Yush. I'll let you off. I'll just finish up here and then, but yeah, we'll catch up. But thank you for jumping on. Tomorrow, major roundtable with Yush and the best prop firm traders. So make sure you check him out there. Obviously, go check out Yush's socials as well. He's very transparent and literally shares every single trade he takes and the reality of both prop firm trading with his actual spend and also his live trading that he's doing right now as well. Guys, obviously our streams, our channels are not possible without our sponsors, right? And our people who partner with us, which is TradeZella, as you can see right here. Obviously use code CF20 for 20% off. You probably saw they just launched within TradeZella Prop Firm Sync, so you can sync all your prop firm payouts and expenses in one place, right? As well as obviously automated journaling, back testing, all in one singular tool. And I just got an email right now that they're launching something as this industry's never seen. It's the biggest thing yet, and that's coming very, very soon, all included in TradeZella, right? The one and only. Of course, Apex, sponsor of Chart Fanatics, and here, of course, on Chart Fanatics Live, who we do giveaways with every single trading day. So make sure you go get funded at Apex Trader Funding for your futures funding right there. It's 50% off right now. And you can get up to 20 accounts at Apex, the only futures firm that offers 20 accounts, right? It's phenomenal. And actually, one of the first 7-figure payouts, if not the first 7-figure payout in prop firm history, as well as the largest payout in prop firm history, is all from Apex, and they're on the roundtable tomorrow. So make sure you check that out again. I think Marco will be trading tomorrow, so make sure you tune in, same time. And don't forget Alpha Capital also, who we just did some incredible giveaways with. Alpha Capital for CFD, funding. So you can get up to 400K over at Alpha Capital. You can get 20% off all accounts using the code CF at checkout. So check them out. Sorry, a huge thank you to them. Everyone who won an account, everyone who was patient, everyone who participated, should I say? Let's do it. Billy Stylist, you know what? I'll give you an account. Yeah, you did ask a lot of questions, and therefore you should have an account as well. Remember, guys, we don't sit here going, hey, what was it? We don't sit here saying, obviously, talk about giveaways all day. We're here to trade. We're here to provide value and show you the reality of trading with real traders. Sometimes it's not sexy. Sometimes we lose. Like that just happened, but I'd rather that than just fake trading and trading that doesn't actually do anything or mean anything. So, but we will have some more fun. I will be back on stream in the coming weeks. And not only that, I will be trying to pass some challenges live and getting funded live and get some payouts live. So join for that journey right there. It should be really, really fun. And I'll be back. It was great to be with you. I miss streaming. I only streamed like 3 times when we first launched Chart Fanatics Live. But I'm back. It's going to be bigger and better. And we got some changes to come as well. So keep an eye out. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. And until next time, everyone, take care.